Camera.
Late December in Orlando, Florida, but the crowd is in eager anticipation for what is the biggest night of the year in collegiate track and field as the 2024 Bowerman Awards as part of the USTFCCCA Convention here in Orlando. Hi everybody, I'm Paul Swangard, joined by scratch golfer Grant Holloway. He also apparently does reasonably good on purple tracks in Paris. You're looking also very dapper and sharp. Welcome to the red carpet.
Hey, feelings mutual. You look good too, brother. But I think we both can say we're both excited for what's to come tonight. You know, we have 6 finalists that worked their tails off this summer. Well, really this summer and, winter and spring throughout the whole year. And I think it's one of the things where we're able to congratulate them on what they have accomplished. And I'm really eager to see what they have to say on stage with John Anderson.
Yeah, we're going to have kind of a cavalcade here over the next 40 minutes or so, getting ready for the top of the hour when the show actually begins, hosted by Queen Clay and John Anderson in that billing order, and you'll be involved as well, and of course as a past winner. What do you remember about your night?
Man, my night was actually really remarkable. I had kind of told myself that I was looking forward to winning. I knew I was going to win, but everybody knows that name, Mondo Duplantis. He was a finalist for my year, and I knew I had my work cut out. But all as Phil Herman Fraser said, I was the Bowerman winner, and that was all she wrote.
And where does this statue sit in your home?
Back in Chesapeake, Virginia, with Stan and Tasha Holloway. I couldn't take it back to Gainesville at the time. I was in limbo of moving back and forth between houses. And now it just kind of just stayed there. They made a nice little emblem for it, and they have like this nice little Hall of Fame little memorial for it. So it's in good hands. It's in good hands.
Yeah. And Grant, we look back on the history, and we'll see and hear from many of the former winners or past winners. Once a winner, always a winner. And we, last year's winner, Julian Alfred, now an Olympic champion. You're an Olympic champion. This is not the end of the journey for all these folks, and really a stepping stone for bigger things.
It's a big stepping stone, not just for the athletes, but just for their confidence. Once you are a finalist for the Bowerman and you know that you're, top 3 of all collegiate athletes in track and field and cross country, you kind of know you're in good company. And this is really, it's not an end all to be all, but it's also one of the things where going forward, it's like, all right, I know I have that swagger to kind of be that athlete. Whether it's on the track, on the cross-country field, or even in the jump.
And not only 6 incredible athletes, but 6 really incredible individuals.
Yeah, incredible individuals. I've already seen a couple outfits. Parker Valby, obviously, Gator is my favorite right now. Oh yeah, if you can't see the emblem.
I just turned it upside down as an Oregon guy.
Yeah, but Parker Valby looks great. Leo, Maya. I mean, the list can go on and on. I know Jada has a nice green suit on.
Yeah.
So we're going to see what everybody has to offer. I think with this red carpet that's also black right now, I think it's going to be good so they can always, we have all these fans and all these people that want to take pictures and have autographs. And, I was just talking to a little kid that was 15 years old. I see my best friend Sean over there. It's good to see you, brother. But just to see everybody out there, man, I think it's going to be great. I think it's going to be good, and I think this is a good night for track and field.
Yeah, and the crowd around is amped up. It's been the end of a very productive week of meetings here at the Coaches Convention. And Grant, we're going to move you into your new position as you're going to get set to interview some of these folks down the runway, and we'll see you back here at the end, and we'll get them ready for the show.
I can't wait, guys. You guys are in for a good one.
All right, Grant Holloway joining us here. He's going to put that mic down, and away we go on live television as we get set for the arrivals of our first of many past winners here at the Bowerman Awards. And we're also going to hear from some of our important folks as it relates to the hosting duties tonight. Of course, legendary ESPN Sports Center anchor, now moving on to academic professor. John Anderson will be here along with Queen Clay. But here in a moment, welcoming our first Bowerman nominee, getting a little inside welcome here in, welcome. And first of all, kind of basking in this moment. How does it feel to finally get here to tonight?
There was a lot more preparation than I anticipated, and so it feels good. We did a big run through today, and yeah, it's amazing to be here. We've known for a long time, so there's been a lot of anticipation.
Yeah. And, you know, given all that you did after your collegiate season, it's a chance to kind of come back and really ground yourself and appreciate all that you achieved at Harvard.
Absolutely, and there's a few people that are done with the NCAA, but or are still in it, but most of us are done, and so there's definitely a feeling of nostalgia. We miss college. There's something special. Yeah.
But you've also joined a very special community, and you know we're going to hear from some of these past winners, and you had a chance to meet with some of them. What are they telling you about this moment?
You know, I was just chatting to Queen before we got in the car, and it's really cool for us to see where we're going. You know, my grandma said it kind of joking. She's 80, and she's like, "Oh, you get to see what your future is," but it's true. It really feels special, and I'm so grateful that they all want to come back and be a part of it still. So yeah.
Good. Well, I'm glad you have friends and family here, and we'll hope you have an enjoyable night here, and you look great, as a Bowerman nominee should. Head down that runway, and we'll toss it over to Grant Holloway now, who's with Queen Clay.
Thank you very much.
Today, Grant Holloway. Grant Holloway here.
Waiting on
Queen
Grant.
Harris
He's in
Clay.
position,
First
and he's
of all,
ready to go.
You look great.
Thank you.
We have past winners, we have present winners, we have future winners. What can we all expect tonight to happen with this Bowerman ceremony in 2024?
Well, number one, glamour. I mean, I saw some people over at the cocktail hour, and they are looking beautiful. So, you know, I'm a fashion girl, so that's the first thing I noticed. But also accolades. We have some superstars in the building, and I cannot wait to see who wins tonight.
What is your favorite memory at Virginia Tech when you won your Bowerman trophy?
Oh my gosh, so many memories. I would say when I got the three-peat and I won the 100 hurdles, and I was just, I don't know, it was just a surreal moment. And so that still sticks in my head, and I know that's what led me to win the Bowerman in the first place.
Awesome, awesome. Well, that's Queen Harris and Clay, guys. I'm going to send it back over to Paul now.
Caleb D, next on the runway. You kind of enjoyed that show.
Yeah, I'm an entertainer. I got to show the people what I'm like.
Talk just back. What does this night mean, not only for you, but the team around you, your family around you, get to really celebrate this as a group?
It's an amazing feeling, and being supported, you know, with my family being here, and my coaches, my support system, everything. It's a blessing.
And I know you're going to turn the page, and we're talking about 2025 in a short order here, but is this a moment you can really sort of take a time to reflect on all that you accomplished this year?
100%, definitely. I'm going to definitely take the time to reflect on this moment, because the men's side each year is at this, you know, event, so I'm very grateful.
And what would you say to that young youth phenom sprinter that was beating up on those age group kids back in the day, to where you're standing here now on the precipice of really your first major foray into professional track and field and being considered among the greatest collegians of your era?
I would just say to that young kid, just wait till you see what you can do in the future, because the future is bright for you.
Future is definitely bright. The lights are bright as well. They'll be bright on you all night long. Enjoy the moment.
Thank you so much. I appreciate it.
All right. Caleb Dean joining us here, the second of our 6 nominees for the 2024 Bowerman Award, as we continue our red carpet run through here in 2024. Let's head back over to Grant Holloway with his guests.
Courtney Okolo, it's not a coincidence that we have a Texas Longhorn and a Texas A&M Aggie here, but they're both past Bowerman winners. Right now, I'm asking, what can everybody expect here at this Bowerman 2024 experience?
Just a celebration of 6 great athletes, and 2 winners going to be announced, so we're excited to see who's going to win tonight.
Jessica?
And just a celebration of collegiate track and field and the greatest athletes. Well, there's others, but the top 6 and the cream of the crop, as Courtney said, just celebrating them and all their achievements, everything that they worked hard for, and just making sure they know they're appreciated and that they're all special. So.
That's really great. I'm looking forward to seeing what happens tonight. I'm going to go ahead and send it back over to Paul. He's over there with Jada, Oregon shot putter. Way to go, guys.
And as we come to the Eugene portion of our program, as we bring Jada Ross in here. And Jada, first of all, congratulations. What are you feeling in this moment?
Thank you. I'm feeling very honored right now. I feel the love. It's amazing to be around so many people that just love track. So this is awesome.
And of course, a special connection. Obviously, Bill Bowerman, legendary coach at Oregon. You see every day when you're in that facility, what he, inspired athletes to do, and in that moment, reflecting on what Bowerman represented to the sport, is that even more special to be on that list of nominees?
Oh, I think for sure. I think just being a part of that history means so much to me, and I'm honored to add to that and be a part of that.
Enjoy the night.
Thank you.
All right, Jada Ross, one of our nominees for the 2024 Bowerman Award. Let's head over back to Grant Holloway.
How's everybody doing today? I'm here with Katoro Orji, 2018 Bowerman winner, and Brianna Rollins McNeil. I said I wasn't going to say it, and I still messed it up, but it's all good. 2013 Bowerman winner. I've been asking everybody kind of the same question, and I'm going to switch it up for you guys. What are you guys excited for what's going on at this Bowerman in 2024?
I mean, I'm always excited to see who wins. All of the athletes had great seasons. It's just really great to be back here and be inspired again.
What was the question again? I didn't hear you.
It did get loud. Jada had just walked through. She's going back there. But what are you excited for this ceremony in 2024?
Oh, like she said, I'm excited to see who's going to be the winner, but as well as just, seeing all of their accomplishments being replayed. It's always exciting to see all of the work and the hard work they put through to get them here. So it's always exciting. It always makes my heart feel, warm, because it just brings me back to great memories.
What was your favorite memory while you were at a collegiate or your college at Clemson?
I think my favorite thing was just like being a Tiger and just, that collegiate atmosphere, being a team. And, as a professional, you're an individual, so you don't really have that same support system. But I think, that was the most exciting part about collegiate track and field.
And for you, Katora, you had, correct me if I'm wrong, 3 times you were a finalist?
Yes, sir.
Which one was your favorite and why?
Of course, 2018 was my favorite because I won.
Send it back over to Paul. Christopher Morales Williams just walked in. Thank you, guys.
Ontario, Christopher Morales Williams, a little warmer here in Orlando, but you're used to the heat. And what do you feel about it this night, and already getting a sense of just how excited everyone is to see you here?
This is a truly incredible experience. I didn't imagine how it was going to be like this, and I mean, just everything how it's been set up. It's been wonderful.
Reflecting back on this year, I mean, you've obviously got a lot of momentum in a short period of time. What does this honor potentially mean to you, and just kind of your arc and your goals as a runner?
I feel like this kind of just means like it shows like a sense of worth, almost like a sense of like, let's say like this is going somewhere, and it's not just kind of like, oh, I'm doing track for fun. And as a kid, it's like, like this is something I can think about doing for a longer period of time, hopefully. And it's just kind of nice to see, events like these makes you want to keep going forward,
Yeah, back in my days in popular music, they said the future's so bright you got to wear shades. So you're definitely looking the part here, and enjoy the night, and look forward to seeing how things unfold here this evening.
Thank you.
All right, Christopher Morales Williams as he continues his walk down the runway here as we get set for more arrivals for the 2024 Bowerman Award. Let's head back over to Grant Holloway.
And I'm back actually with 2 role models of mine, Marquise Dindy, Florida Gator, as always, and we got a Razorback. Wow. 2016 Bowerman winner. Guys, we're talking about, Queen said we're going to have glamour. Couture Orgy said it's going to be excitement, and we're going to be celebrating tonight. What can you guys expect when we walk in there?
Legacy, tradition, and just following on for the next best thing. I mean, I was in 2015. I passed it off to the next best thing. And you know what I'm saying? Better than me. 1, 2, and the long jump. I just did long jump.
Jesse Owens is the last person that did that one right there.
This award that where we have one passing down to another is amazing.
Awesome. Jerry?
I would say this is where legends are made, right? I don't know what the numbers are, but I know if you're a Bowerman finalist, if you're a Bowerman winner, you're most likely going to have a world medal if you don't already. So
I think this is a great place to be with everything going on. I mean, from my perspective, when I won the Bowerman, it was one of the things of like relief. For the winners that are going to happen tonight, what can you expect their excitement level will be?
I think a lot of people are going to end up loosening up a little bit. I was nervous. I wasn't talking at all. And so I can definitely tell that probably after this is going to be a nice sigh of relief. woo-saw type of feeling. So, you know, looking forward to that for sure.
Awesome, awesome. All right, guys, I'm going to go ahead and send it back over to Paul. He's with Big Leo, the German.
Thanks very much, Grant. Well, Leo has made it here, and who are you wearing? What are you wearing?
Texas style, baby. So I'm coming as Matthew McConaughey, kind of, you know. And what should I say but all right, all right, all right.
All right, all right, all right. Well, you know, I saw Seb Zion is actually also wearing a hat. Who has a bigger gallon hat tonight?
I gotta say, probably Zab. He's the more experienced cowboy. You know, I'm more new to the game, but you know, I'm following his footsteps.
Yeah, you know, you've been to this party before.
Yes.
We talked a little bit, and Zeb's a good reminder. It takes more than just you being really good at what you do. You've been really surrounded by a phenomenal team at Texas, and Texas has had a lot of success at this award. What would the win mean to you on behalf of those people who got you here?
Yes, I mean, there's been a lot of support behind like what I've been doing from so many people. I couldn't even count all of them. Like, it's insane, and I'm just so thankful. Then last year I was here. You know, it was a great event as well, and I hope this time I can come up with the win, and I'm excited.
All right. Well, Trey Hardy's watching out there somewhere. He says he's your favorite. I don't know why Trey Hardy would say you're his favorite, but good luck there. Whatever happens, and what a great season you had, and you looked the part.
I appreciate you. Thank you so much.
All right. We'll go back over to Grant Holloway.
What's going on, guys? I'm here with Jaden Hibbert, Bowerman winner 2023, Trey Cunningham 2022. Jaden said I only have to ask him one question, so I'm going to ask him the most simple question. What's your favorite picture that you've seen of yourself here at the Bowerman? I know you said all of them look horrible, so what's your favorite one?
Probably the one in the auditorium that's hung up. That's the only one I like because, yeah.
Everything else looks horrible?
Yes, yes.
And I'm here with my counterpart, Trey Cunningham. FSU, I think you were FSU's second Bowerman winner. How does that feel to carry on that legacy, almost a decade later, right?
Yeah. I mean, this award is something special, and I mean, just be able to claim that back to FSU is something special as well. I mean, it's also a testament to like other institutions like Florida and A&M and all the other places. We have excellence there, man. And if you have two Bowerman winners, I mean, something's going right.
You know exactly what's going on here at the Bowerman winner. We are figuring out things, and we're all creating excellence. I'm over there, going to send it over to Parker Valby. Look, send it over to Parker Valby. And
From one Florida Gator, Grant Holloway, to another, Parker Valby. Welcome to the runway.
Thank you.
Are you enjoying the night so far?
I am, yes.
It's kind of fun to get dressed up and fancy. This is what our sport needs, don't you think?
Definitely. Although I'm kind of disappointed. I thought it was going to be a red carpet. It's kind of a black carpet.
Well, it's kind of like an elevated runway. Probably a long jumper decided how to do this.
Fair.
You know, the nomination means so much to you, obviously, but you've got a large group of supporters behind you. And who is here? Who are you hoping will celebrate, whether you're just a nominee or eventually a Bowerman winner?
Yeah, you know, everyone. I'm super, super grateful that's in Florida, first of all. So all of my friends and family could come. And yeah, a lot of my friends, my teammates from the University of Florida, my entire family's here. So yeah, it's been a fun night.
All right, well, you'll eventually back up to Boston in those chilly temperatures, but enjoy Florida for the
I'm actually staying in Florida for 3 weeks.
Yeah, I know. You're gonna hit the white beaches for a white Christmas.
Yes.
All right, well, enjoy the night, Parker, and congratulations on being one of our nominees.
Thank you.
All right, Parker Valby from the Gator crowd from the University of Florida as we head back to another Gator, Grant Holloway.
I'm here with Julian Alford, Bowerman winner 2023, the Olympic champion. And I'm also here with royalty, the OG Bowerman winner, Jenny Simpson of 2009. Ladies, I've been told that it's going to be clamor, it's going to be tradition, it's going to be excitement. What are you guys mostly looking forward to with everything going on?
Just having the winners, especially Leo, being from Texas as well. I'm just hoping that he wins tonight.
We're all hoping that a lot of Longhorns can go down because I want the Gators to win, of course. But Jenny, you've seen almost everything happen here. You are the pedestal of Bowerman winners. How does it feel to be that for young athletes like all of us?
It's amazing to see how the Bowerman has grown up. I mean, it was not like this the year that I won, and to watch everyone come in, and honestly, the competition is just unbelievable. From year to year, I think it can't ratchet up more, and yet it does. And I'm particularly excited about this year because we got a middle distance woman, we got a distance woman, So we're representing well there. I'm really excited to watch the ceremony.
I'm looking forward to it all. I just really want everybody just to be themselves. You know, I feel like a lot of people come here and they're tense for rightful reasons, but to just come out, be themselves, and have a little bit of fun and let everything else be loose. So afterwards it's all done, I think we're going to start wrapping it all up, guys, but thank you guys so much. I'm going to send it over to Paul one last time. Thank you so much, lovely ladies.
Thanks very much, Grant, and we'll get him back over here in a moment for some final reflections before we get to the start of the 2024 Bowerman Awards here at the USTFCCCA Convention in Orlando, Florida. You know, it is a great time to be had. You did a nice job over there.
I tried to, brother. I tried to.
All right. You know, but we've got a couple of things. We'll talk a little bit more and get you set for the show, which happens at the top of the hour. But before we do that, got a little piece of video to show you as we look back on the year in collegiate track and field.
Juliet Whitaker with a new meet record, 1:59.53. It's a super sweep. Price, Brown, Anning, Effiong. But on the outside, it is Cohen, Shane Cohen, who went wide. It's Cohen holding off Whitmarsh at the finish. Doris Lemon-Goulet is going to set the collegiate record and get the meet record. Oh, it's going to be Hinchcliffe. Wins it. 9:95.
Look at the fight for Halfton Samuel.
And now the chase. There is not another scene like that in any of the NCAA championships. He's wicked smart, okay?
That was a great look back on the season that was here in the 2024 collegiate track and field season at all levels, and the man behind the madness here at the USTFCCCA Convention, still working on how to make that acronym shorter, is Sam Seams. Sam, it's been a phenomenal few days, and you know, as you reflect on that and you get ready for this tremendous celebration, kind of what your overall thoughts of your week here in Orlando?
You get great people together. Track coaches are great people, even though I get mad at them now and then, but they're great folks. You get enough great people together, you're going to have a great event. That's what happened this week, and we're going to cap it off with the top of the top here tonight. You know, Grant's been a former winner, and as an example.
Once a winner, always a winner.
That's right. And once, you got me on that. But anyhow, it just shows the eliteness of the people that come through this Bowerman program and collegiate track and field.
I was told if you are a Bowerman finalist, most likely you're going to be able to get a world medal when it comes all said and done. Do you believe that thought or that statement is very true?
History's got a pretty good record of that. If you see what prior Bowerman finalists have done at the Olympic Games, the World Championships, and God, I don't even know how to count all the NCAA titles.
What is your favorite memory so far at the Bowerman? It doesn't have to be me winning in 2019.
That was one of the favorites. It's getting. I don't get to spend as much time with the student athletes that I'd like to, but it's the student athletes. I am blown away every year by the composure and their ability to speak and their intellect. It just is so impressive, and it's what we've got to do in track and cross country is feature these young people so that the general public knows how great they are.
And Sam, as you started with your opening ceremony address, really talking about that, what are you hoping coaches will go do when they're back in the office after the holidays? What are the first steps they need to be taken to answer your call for change?
I hope they'll go back home and do some soul searching and say, how can I contribute? What can I do for myself that I try to teach my student athletes every day, which is get better. It's going to take dedication. It's going to take commitment. You're going to have to change some things if you're going to get better. And that's what our coaches need to preach, that same story to themselves that they preach to the athletes, and we get some action going to make some changes.
And Sam, we have lots of celebrations. We had the Coaching Hall of Fame, 6 inductees the other night. We have the Bowerman Awards tonight. And there's also the event in June where the athletes are honored. Tell us about that one.
We started 3 years ago this June, on June 8th in Eugene will be our 4th class of the Collegiate Athlete Hall of Fame. It's like the Bowerman. It was a missing element to recognize all the great things that have happened in track and field and all the great athletes that have come through track and field. So in the Bowerman, we're recognizing the present, and then the Collegiate Athlete Hall of Fame, we're trying to go back and make sure people know of the history of the sport and make sure that is embossed in concrete forever.
It's a great setup because we've got a little piece of video to show you all as we get set for this Bowerman Awards. What to look forward to at that Athlete Collegiate Hall of Fame ceremony coming up in 2025. Now, here are tonight's inductees. Tonight's host for the evening, Neil Everett.
We've got the best of the best, the fastest of the fast, the hoppiest of the hop.
Back in the final minutes before we crown the Bowerman Award winners here in 2024 in Orlando, Florida. Paul Swangard along with Grant Holloway, and whether it's in Gainesville or in Eugene, anytime they close the bar, the crowd scatters.
Like wild mice. Like, it's so crazy how much an open bar will do to some athletes, man.
Yeah, and I was hosting the Collegiate Coaches Hall of Fame on Tuesday night, and they closed the bar to start my show, so I was the reason the bar was closed.
That's a good reason.
Yeah.
You made everybody sober up real quick and real fast.
Hey, listen, let's talk about some of the stuff that you're doing off the track. There's a little bit of a media conglomerate brewing in your new podcast. Tell us about that.
Yeah, the new podcast with Noah Lyles.
And he's a sprinter, right?
Yes,
okay.
He is. He's a fast sprinter.
Oh, okay.
I think he's the fastest man alive, in my humble opinion.
Fair enough.
But,
and the other guy?
400 meter
That's
hurdler.
short hurdles.
Yeah, that's me. But Rod Benjamin, 400 hurdler.
No, those are shorter hurdles than you go over.
Oh, I see what you're saying. Yeah.
Man, you did not read the script.
Short hurdle, but higher hurdle. I see what you're doing. But Rod Benjamin, man, I swear, is he's a big reason why I'm doing this podcast. Between us three Olympic champions, 3 USA champions, 3 trailblazers for the sport. I think the biggest thing is for us, we just wanted to have a platform where we could all be ourselves. We want to let our hair down, be relaxed, and then I think we did a great job with our first episode. We allowed Noah to kind of tell his story. That was more so where our geared focus was, because from the outside looking in, we all felt like it was a question mark as to why Noah did what he did and how he did it. So we allowed him just to kind of just show, tell his side of the story, whether they liked it or not. Noah is an individual that people love to hate, and I think he's accepted that role. And I just think with the podcast, it kind of just allowed him just to be himself. And then obviously going forward, we're going to have some amazing guests on this podcast. We're going to be doing some great things. And I think it's going to be one of the things where we're able to have this podcast and have other athletes come on and tell their true side of the story. It's a lot of things that the media miss. And I think it's a lot of things that the media does really, really well. But I think this is kind of like the cold hard truth about track and field and how track athletes, adapt to change.
And is there a deliberate attempt by some of the other guests I think you have in your arsenal of guests on the early segments to get outside of the track and field bubble and bring casual fans in through those folks?
Yeah, I mean, even this year, we released an episode actually today at 7 o'clock. Actually, now I'm thinking about it. We released the episode today. If you haven't watched it, go watch it. Beyond the Records podcast.
7 o'clock tonight?
Yeah, 7 o'clock
It hasn't
tonight.
dropped yet. It's going to
about
drop.
10 minutes. Oh, no.
You're dropping it at the same time as the Bowerman Award?
Even better. Take the viewers away. Take the viewers away.
Well, they can simulcast it.
But we dropped the episode with Mr. Beast, big time YouTuber, big time guy. I just think it's just one of the things where we're just going to continue just to grow. I mean, like right now on Apple Podcasts or Apple, they kind of have like a segment where you can like have a genre. Excuse me. We're the 22nd listen to podcast right now. We just launched only one episode. So kind of just going forward, we're looking forward just to see what happens. And, we want to just be able just to grow on and off the track. And I think this is going to be great. We'll be able to do podcasts at track meets, before track meets, during track meets. And I think it's going to be really, really great.
Yeah, I mean, I think one of the things we've really recognized in the last few years is just how many of the athletes are really willing to sort of step in and allow themselves to be, behind the scenes or part of a sprint, documentary series on Netflix, or even people who are kind of owning their own content. And it's all really coming out of the experiences that these kids have in college. I mean, there are content creators adjacent to some of these Bowerman nominees that are coming from these schools, and they're just pumping out content, and that athlete is kind of used to it once they turn pro.
I mean, let's just use an example right now. You have 2014 Bowerman finalist Leo out of Texas. I think the last time I looked
Say Leo's last name for me.
I can't.
Say it.
I can't.
Why?
I don't know it. That's why I just said Leo. What is it?
Neugebauer.
Yeah, that word. Neugebauer. Did I say it right?
Move
Close.
on.
Leo has, I want to say, 540K on Instagram. Yeah. And that's just crazy. So I just think it's just one of the things where we're in a change of the sport. We're in a change of just kind of just growing everything and figuring out what works best, what doesn't work best as well. And we're just figuring out, we're just at the stepping stone of, growing track and field. And I think having people like himself is great for the sport.
All right, well, turning the page to 2025, I mean, obviously you're thankful for a lot of things, including a little bit of a ring of a bell and the top of a podium experience in Paris. But reflecting back on the year, what are you thankful for?
Man, this year was really, 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 really great for me. Not just for an Olympic gold.
Was it really great?
No, really, really, really. You got to add the extra really.
All right, really?
It adds that extra flair. But I just think this year was just remarkable for myself from the standpoint was indoor world champion, indoor world record, outdoor world champion, not world champion, outdoor Olympic champion. And then as well as running the most sub-13s performance. And then just to add like a nice little cherry on top of the nice ice cream sundae that I prepared, I graduated from the University of Florida. So, just to have all those things for me in this 2024 season has been great, man. And I don't know what 2025 has to offer, but it has a high bar to reach after 2024.
Well, that to me is worth a toast. Would you mind?
Give us 1 second.
Give us 1 second. If you didn't know, Grant has a little bit of wine interest in his.
Too much.
Well, I'm not here to judge. I live in Oregon. I think wine is actually considered a
juice.
It's part of the pyramid as far as I'm concerned. But cheers to a great 2025. It was a blessing for me to follow you and all the rest of these incredible athletes along the way. We're going to have a lot of fun in 2025, and I will see you, obviously, in Tokyo, hopefully in the end of September.
I can't wait. Thank you so much, man. Cheers to everybody watching. Bowerman 2024. We're going to see a finalist here soon.
Ah, that tastes nice. We appreciate you joining us here for the Bowerman Awards pre-show as we get set to go inside the JW Marriott here in Orlando, Florida. They're getting settled inside the big ballroom. Great show coming up here as our countdown clock has started. We got to get Grant in there. He's one of the not former winners. I don't like that.
Where am I?
Well, once a winner, always a winner. Kind of like that Olympic thing, right?
There we go. There we
so
go.
we get Grant inside, and of course John Anderson and Queen Clay, Grant Holloway, and the rest of the folks will take this home. Program is really kind of fun too because you get a chance to see some of their personality and also a few cries. Will there be crying?
I think we'll see a lot of cries. I think right now everybody's tense. I know from my perspective, almost 5 years ago, crazy to even think about that. Almost 5 years ago, I was very tense, but I kind of had a good feeling. I think every athlete in there has a good feeling about what's about to happen. I think once they get on stage, they start talking with John, they hear the coach talk, vice versa, everything starts breaking down a little bit more. It'll be great, but I think it's going to be a tense, but then it's going to be very relaxed.
Yeah, with about 4 minutes before the show starts. I mean, the other thing they did nice, they just really put them on a VIP pedestal here for the week, and there was a nice luncheon today when everyone received kind of a recognition for their honor just to be nominated. And yeah, you talk about it. I mean, it is kind of a community now, and you found yourself kind of interacting with these folks beyond just the scope of these events every year?
My biggest thing is when I come here, John Anderson, when I was co-hosting with him, he told me...
John Anderson.
John Anderson. Big John.
I know.
ESPN John.
Yeah, I know.
Crocodile John. Yeah. He really told me, he was like, connect with the parents. The parents will tell you all you need to know about, their son or their daughter. And I've been talking with the parents. Obviously, Parker's parents has been very, very close with me. It's been great. But really, Maya's parents, from being from New Zealand, being on that World Indoor team where I actually saw her run, I was like, that's a child running. Like that's pretty dope. But, to talk about their story, to hear their story, how they were raised, what they did, what they didn't do, I think it's great. Like even last night at dinner, I was talking with Parker Valby. She didn't know who Tiger Woods was. For those who don't know, PNC Championship is here. Tiger Woods and Charlie Woods would be here right behind us. Parker Valby had no clue who Tiger Woods was. So I had to take her down memory lane, the good memory lane, of Tiger Woods. But yeah, it's just one of the things, man. I just like talking to the parents because they're so proud of having their son or daughter be here. And this is kind of like the pinnacle of track and field at the collegiate level.
No question about that, and this is also, as much as it is a special moment for the athlete, it really is the coach, the parents, the support system. It's a chance for everyone to celebrate because it just, as it was for you, it's not just you.
Yeah, it's not just me, it's not just the University of Florida, but it's everybody that helped, the athlete get to this moment, and I think it's really, really great. So I think once we get inside, they're going to announce the past winners. We have a beautiful video. I was actually able to see it by one of the producers, David, here. Shouts out to David. I think once they show that tease of how great we have 6 finalists, I think they're going to kind of let their hair down, let them be themselves, let the personality show. I'm really, really excited for Leo. He has a big personality, and I think he has the platform to really do something crazy tonight.
Well, we have basically emptied this place, and we're just talking amongst ourselves. There's no
this
one.
Is crazy.
There's no one. Like we're not on TV or anything live. Do you have your picks for this thing tonight?
Do I have my picks?
Yeah. Who's going to win?
Oh, I can say this. I can pick. Of course, I'm gonna pick a Gator. I think Parker's gonna definitely get it, and I think Leo. I really feel like Leo is gonna kill it. From my perspective, being a voter. I want to be able to let everybody in on a little secret if you're still watching. But the Bowerman is solely based off of wins and how much did you win. We have 6 finalists that won a lot. But at what degree did they win? For me to pick Leo, I think he dominated indoors. I think he dominated outdoors, set a German record. I think it's going to be great. Also for the votes, it's not based after NCAAs. It's anything from January to June.
Yeah.
So from the indoor season to the last meet at NCAAs. So I'm very curious.
Sorry, I got to cut you off. They say they want to start the show. Will you turn your Florida Gator thing? It's been upside down the whole show. Sorry, Jada Ross. Not sorry. Hey, thanks, Rain Holloway. Thanks for the team behind the scenes here to do this opening show. And now we're going to head inside here in Orlando, Florida, as we begin the presentation of the 2024 Bowerman Awards. So long, everybody.
Guys.
Tonight, from the JW Marriott Grande Lakes Resort in Orlando, Florida, this is the 2024 presentation of the Bowerman.
Ladies and gentlemen, please welcome the past winners of the Bowerman. In 2009, she set 5 collegiate records and won 2 NCAA titles. The inaugural women's winner of the Bowerman from the University of Colorado, Jenny Simpson. She was the first female in NCAA history to claim national titles in both the 100 hurdles and the 400 hurdles. The Queen Double, the 2010 women's winner from Virginia Tech, Queen Harrison Clay. A 4-time NCAA champion in 2011, she captured indoor and outdoor 400-meter and 4x4 national title sweeps. The 2011 women's winner from Texas A&M University, Jessica Beard. In 2013, she set collegiate records in the 60 hurdles and 100 hurdles, sweeping national titles in both events. From Clemson University, Brianna Rollins McNeil. This Gator swept long jump and triple jump crowns at the NCAA Division I Indoor and Outdoor National Championships during his senior season. The 2015 men's winner from the University of Florida, Marquise Dindy. She set a collegiate record in the 400 meters and captured 4 national titles during her Bowerman winning season. From the University of Texas, 2016 women's winner, Courtney Okolo. Only he and Jesse Owens have won the 100, 200, and long jump. in the same National Outdoor Championships. 2016 winner from the University of Arkansas, Jerry and Lawson. Running 9:82 and 6:45. He's atop the collegiate record book in the 100 and the 60. This volunteer also added 4 national titles during his Bowerman year. The 2017 men's winner from the University of Tennessee, Christian Coleman. In 2018, she won 3 NCAA titles and reset the indoor and outdoor triple jump collegiate records. From the University of Georgia, Keturah Orji. A 30-year-old collegiate record in the 100 meters stood no chance against this speedster. From Louisiana State University, the reigning world champion at 100 meters, 2019 winner, Sha'Carri Richardson. In 2019, he captured 4 national titles and broke collegiate records in the 60 hurdles, 110 hurdles, and the 4x100 relay. From the University of Florida, the reigning Olympic and 3-time reigning world champion in the 110-meter high hurdles, Grant Holloway. In 2022, he swept national hurdling crowns and became just the 4th athlete in NCAA history to hit 13 flat in the high hurdles. From Florida State University, Trey Cunningham. Undefeated in the 60, 100, and 200. Collegiate records indoors at 60 and 200. She won 5 NCAA titles in 2023. From the University of Texas, the reigning Olympic 100-meter champion, Julian Alfred. Long-standing collegiate records and the world U20 record in the triple jump fell at the feet of this freshman Razorback in 2023. From the University of Arkansas, Jaden Hibbert. Ladies and gentlemen, another round of applause for the past winners of the Bowerman.
I feel like I'm at church. I feel like what they say, you may be seated. First of all, thank you guys so much. I think this Bowerman is going to be very, very special, not only because it was an Olympic year and we have past winners and former winners that have, oh, that's the same word, huh? We have past winners and future winners that have, done great things, not just for their country, but for the Bowerman committee. So, this is a dream I think that all athletes have and, only few can have. So we have a nice little teaser video to get everybody hyped for today, and we'll cue the video.
From a young age, they dreamt of greatness, and perhaps this moment. Here, now. As they grew, so did their goals. Running, jumping, throwing, competing against the best at the biggest meets. Dreams of winning championships, podiums, trophies, and medals. Dreams of breaking records, and at some point, maybe even the Bowerman. Dreams to be in this place, on this night, with these people. It's the most prestigious award and the biggest night in college track and field. Tonight we celebrate 6 incredible athletes, dreamers, while honoring the legends who came before them.
It doesn't really feel real, but I can look at this piece of paper and see it's for real.
And the legacy they've left on this hallowed stage. Dream big and dream on. It's time to crown the winners of the Bowerman 2024.
Please welcome tonight's finalist. She was undefeated against collegiate competition in the mile and 1,500 meters and swept national titles in both. From Harvard University, Maya Ramden. She is the first in collegiate history to eclipse the 20-meter barrier with the shot, and she won the NCAA outdoor title in the event. From the University of Oregon, Jada Ross. Four races on the track, 4 national titles, 4 NCAA championship meet records, and 3 collegiate records. From the University of Florida, Parker Valby. He hurdled his way into collegiate history, becoming the first athlete in Division I to win national titles in the 60-meter hurdles and 400-meter hurdles in the same year. From Texas Tech University, Caleb Dean. This year's NCAA indoor and outdoor 400-meter champion stunned them all by running 44:49 indoors, the fastest in world history. From the University of Georgia, Christopher Morales Williams. He won NCAA titles in both the heptathlon and the decathlon, and his collegiate record score of 89.61 places him among the world's all-time greats. From the University of Texas, Leo Neugebauer. Please welcome former ESPN anchor and Bowerman winning wannabe high jumper while at the University of Missouri, John Anderson.
Surprised he got all of my accolades in that quickly. Congratulations. Thanks, Mike. Appreciate that. Guess we should get started, huh? Welcome, everybody, to the 26th and final technical symposium of the USTFCCCA Convention, Awards and How to Present Them. Although I heard outside, someone said, wow, this is the best office party I have ever been to. Thanks, Samsine. Fantastic. My name is John Anderson. Thanks for having me. I am here tonight willingly, obviously, but also, as Mike said, since leaving Sports Center, I am now also mostly unemployed. Which is why, for this new year, we're just going to set that out there, if that's okay with everybody. See how it goes. Queen Harrison Clay. Where's Queen? We split this at the end of the night since you're up here doing half the work, so we're good. Don't worry about it. Queen, the 2010 Bowerman winner, will be here interviewing coaches for our program. The Bowerman presented on runnerspace. It is the biggest night in track and field. I want to emphasize night, okay? Because our decathlete finalist, Leo, he's like, hey, how about we do this like at 9 in the morning in front of 11 people? And I'm like, I don't think that's the best way to go about it, but we can discuss that maybe for next year. 8,961 points, dude, that is incredible.
But I'm really wondering, yeah. But like, are those good for anything? Can you spend those like to get money off at the gas pump or like flight upgrades? I'd like to take my 4,500 points from the first day and buy a pumpkin spice latte if I could over at Starbucks. Leo and Christopher and Caleb, and I look over here and I see Maya and Jada and I see Parker. I want you guys to know, you've heard this a bunch, but in front of everybody, they should know. Like, this whole thing is for you. Like, if you want to stand up and turn around and look, like, those people are here for you. 6 spectacular athletes. Only 6. I don't believe Bowerman expansion to 12 has been discussed like in college football. Although, listen, given the quality of competition, we could go to 12 easy. Be a headache, but we could get to 12. Most of them would be NAU distance runners or quarter milers from Arkansas, but we could get 12 people in here. That wouldn't be hard. Tonight is the 15th presentation of the Bowerman. So not only is this trophy heavy, 37 pounds, but it's legit, okay? But it's not the heft of the thing that brings the true weight to the award. It has everything to do with the people who have won it, okay? A great deal of what makes the Bowerman special are these banners that hang here and these other people, other past champions that are in the front row. Nobody ages in the banners, however. I don't know if you noticed that. You look around and go, wow, that looks, you know, Galen Rupp looks like a pup. This is the best and most exclusive club in track and field that somebody's going to join tonight. Our list of past winners, as you heard Mike J. talk about on the parade that came through here, it is a who's who list of Olympic champions and medalists, world champions and world champion medalists. We have records by the bushel and NCAA titles that are just too many to count. So I can't go through everybody, but I do want to know, like, Jenny, do you have a room, or do you and Jason have an Airstream just parked out back and you're getting ready to drive all over the country? It's coming soon, okay. Jessica Beard, if you guys don't know it, she and I are in a contest to see who can come to this thing the most times. And right now it is a battle royal. Shakira, we are thrilled to have you back. Fantastic. I was not here the year you and Grant won, so I don't even know if it's legit. But it's great, and your success and your popularity raised the sport, and it is wonderful that you could be here with us tonight. Julian, new thing, man. We have a special segment just for you, you and I a little later, kind of a 10-minute Q&A. It'll be awesome. It's going to be fantastic. The dudes were great. Last year's winners here, Jaden Hibbert. Appreciate you taking out time from trying to kill James Bond to be here. That's awesome. Jerry, and I was a little disappointed. I thought I was going to get them. Yeah, next time. I thought we had talked about it. That's fine. Grant Holloway, dynamite work with Paul Swangard out on the red carpet. I have spent the last 2 years trading friendly barbs up on this stage with Grant. And tonight is obviously no different. See, the Olympic champion chose to call me out. Yeah, you know where I'm going. So he wins in Paris, and he points out that 2 years ago when I did the Boston Marathon, just a little, allow me this divergence if you would. On the Boston Marathon coverage with Kerry Tullifson, we were talking about the greatest of all time. And I said, you know what? If I had 2 goats, I would name one Eliud Kipchoge, and the other one I would name Carl Lewis. And Kerry said, well, what about your buddy Grant Holloway? He's going to be really mad at you. And I said, well, when Grant Holloway wins a gold medal, I'll worry about his goats. Okay? So listen, his nickname's the Flamingo. The man's got a memory like an elephant. Apparently that got Grant's goat. Kaboom ching. We need a rim shot. But tonight I'm going to show you that I'm a man of my word. There's a wonderful program run back in my home state of Wisconsin called Friends for Health in Haiti. They run a program in which goats are given to families in rural communities. The animals are, no, seriously, used for milk and for breeding, and the goats are used to help for income in these rural areas, to help raise them out of poverty. It helps with schooling, it helps with food, it helps with health care, helps them with clothing, and helps them with home repairs. So Grant, I'm happy to tell you that there's been a donation made for you of 13 goats in your name for Friends for Health in Haiti. Queen asked me, how come 13 goats? And I said, because you can't get 12.81 goats. You got to buy like the whole damn goat. So that's why we're at 13 goats. So that's for you, my friend. Now, to those of you who might be next, congratulations on a season to remember for all of you. Also, this is important to remember, when the announcement is made, the camera is on all three of you, okay? So if your name isn't called, watch for the bitter beer face. You don't want to go, that. You know, you got to be careful. Okay, just want to warn you. You have made your coaches and your universities proud, and my guess is your parents and your family are too. So if you are willing to claim these children in front, we'd like to have the parents stand up, and we want to recognize you with applause for the wonderful athletes and people you've raised. Jada, your sister should stand up too. There you go. So thank you, congratulations to you as parents. Now sit back and don't get mad because I'm going to poke fun at your children. Here's Leo, right? Just a walking PETA violation tonight, good God. I have seen your videos, man. I'm hoping you can go 90 minutes without a meal or a snack. Seen the vlogs. Also, who knew gummy bears were healthy for you? But I guess they are. Caleb, look, dude, 6 feet, you're pushing it. But we are glad that you topped out at 6 feet. Otherwise, you play basketball like everybody else at DeMatha. And we need you out here hurdling. Also, great announcement, joined Grand Slam track this morning. So just, you know. I don't know who negotiated. You'd like to wait to see if you win. You could have driven the price up. But if you choose to sign early, good for you. Christopher, good news for you, man. These chairs are World Athletics approved. They are wired and they are pressure sensitive. So if you set a record getting up here, we're good. But likewise, any of you six, if you get up too fast, you could be DQ'd, and then the second place winner actually gets the trophy. So kind of goes both ways. Be careful. Listen, I'm on his side. Maya, you are wicked smart, athletically gifted. It's a shame you're out of eligibility. I just heard New Zealand will be joining the ACC next year. That's going to be awesome. And here's the other thing I don't know. This just came up. They had the World Running Mile or something down there in Auckland. Did you see that like last week? And so apparently you can bring the Bowerman home, but if you go to New Zealand and try to bring in a banana or a Florida orange, they will bust you. Neil Gorley got fined $230 for having a banana in his luggage. So be careful. Bring the trophy home, just no fresh fruit. Probably bring crystal meth, that's fine. Just don't bring an orange. Jada, hopefully your career doesn't feel incomplete without a Big Ten championship. I also imagine that you go to Oregon and you're like, I won the national championship in the shot, and people are like, yeah, but what's your mile PR? By the way, I don't know if you guys, Jada went to the same high school as Bill Bowerman, so obviously the fix is in. I don't know. If she doesn't win, I don't know what happened. Parker, let me make sure I get this right. Indoor, 3,000? 5,000 indoor? 5,000 outdoor? 10,000 outdoor? And 20,000 to some scammer who wanted to sell you an app for cash. This is going to be such a great night. Thanks, everybody, for being here. Our first finalist is Maya Ramden.
Oceania, Africa, North America. Maya Ramden is truly world class as a citizen and as a runner. Her final season in a Harvard uniform was Bowerman-worthy stuff.
I thought I was ready to be done, and now I'm here. Maybe I'm not ready.
Unbeaten against collegiate competition, an invitation to the Milrose Games, and a run in the final of the 1,500 meters at the World Indoor Championships. 5 days after that race, Ramden won the mile at the NCAA indoor meet in front of a pro-Crimson crowd in Boston. And in her final race, Ramden successfully defended her outdoor national crown in the 1,500, becoming the event's first repeat winner in more than 2 decades. Her time in both those victories ranks second on the NCAA's all-time list. Also impressive, claiming a 7th, 8th, 9th, and 10th Ivy League title. A wicked good season and a wicked good career. Maya Ramden, a 2024 Bowerman finalist.
Fantastic. So at the top, we said Oceania and Africa, North America. Where do you live right now?
Right now, I live in Boulder, Colorado.
Okay.
Just joined the On Athletics Club. I've got a new team.
Good.
Love my old team. Love my new team. Life's good.
And where are some of the other places that you have lived? Because like filling out credit applications must be hard.
I've been denied.
Have you?
Yeah. So the address is wrong, and it was over for me. Yeah, I lived in New York, in Wellington.
Sure.
In Honiara, Solomon Islands, Suva, Fiji, finished out high school in Addis Ababa, Ethiopia, and then went to Boston for uni.
Easy, easy. Like you are a global superstar for sure. We got the 1,500 indoor and outdoor. Describe your season to us.
Chaotic. A lot of fun. I think we said yes to everything. Like
right.
any start line that was like, oh, do you want to run? We were like, yep, we're going. No, it was really cool. I was just grateful to have the opportunities to line up with the people I got to line up with, both in the NCAA and out.
Yeah, take us through kind of the chaotic part that you were talking about indoor, where you're running in Glasgow for the World Championships, and then you come back and you got to run in Boston.
Yeah, and actually I would say for me that was, at least I had planning for that.
Okay.
A couple weeks before, I got back from my 15-mile long run, thank you, Gibby, and he's like, I've got an idea, we're gonna run Milrose.
Yeah, that's right.
Yeah, and then I was like, okay, we're gonna run Milrose. That night I get a call, he's like, I'm stressing, I don't know if we should run Milrose.
He's stressing.
He's stressing, I'm excited.
But you have to run.
Well, I had to run the DMR the day before.
Yeah.
And then he was like, we're gonna do both. We're gonna
That's
get in a van, we're gonna drive from Boston to New York and race Milrose the next day. I was like, I'll do it, it's fun, a trip to New York. Yeah, he was losing sleep,
But you were fine.
I was fine, I was excited. I can handle the travel, the jet lag.
As losing sleep goes, you win the 1,500 outdoor down in Texas, when it's like, okay, any number of people can win, right? You get a chance. Compare what that race is like going into that as last year in Eugene when the defending champ is here running.
Yeah, in Austin, I had a few people. I had Judy, my dear friend, she's here tonight, tell me, like, you can win. Gibby said I could win, but I don't think I really believed it. I was like, I'm just gonna run my race, and then my race ended up being the one that won.
Yeah.
Whereas, yeah, this time around, it's like I knew what I had to do. I just had to be able to do it. Yeah.
Is it harder though? Because they're like, we need to beat the Harvard girl.
Oh, it was much harder.
Yeah.
So much harder. I was more nervous, which I didn't think was possible. Yeah, I was definitely more nervous this year. The race went out so slow. It was a little brutal.
Yeah, but that changed. They went out quick in the Olympics when you ran there.
Yeah.
How'd that go?
Yeah, that went well. It was a bittersweet ending, but it was just a dream 10 days, so.
Yeah, I mean, 4:02 in a national record is not terrible.
Not bad.
In addition to like 50-mile runs, what else would you like to thank Gibby for before we throw it over to her and find out?
Oh, increasing my tolerance for bad jokes. Yep. Now he's gonna get me back, so I might have just.
Good.
No, you know.
Thanks for not saying me.
He jokes that we just came to school to run or socialize and not do school, but in all honesty, he really supports, like, I think everyone on the team's broad goals, whether they're athletic or, in our case, a lot of times we wish they could be a little more athletic and then they're otherwise, and they're more for school, and he still
right. I learned this from one coach, right? It's school first, track second. Queen Harrison.
Yes. I'm over here with Coach Gibby over here. Now I want to hear one of your jokes, honestly. No, okay, all right. So we'll skip over that. I had the pleasure to ride over with Maya today, and she's a great girl coming from a great family. Describe her off the track, because we've seen the accolades. What's she like off the track?
Well, like everything else in his life, she's a lot. And I mean that in the most positive way imaginable. She's a lot. Like, you know, she got to Harvard, and it was COVID. So I was on campus with her for her and 2 other people for the entirety of the year. And I remember we had Abby Goldstein on campus, and she was an NCAA qualifier for us, and she's like, I don't know if Maya realizes that when COVID's over, she's not going to be able to talk to you individually for half an hour every day. Maya did not realize that, and continued. But you know, the one thing I'll say about Maya, and I think this encapsulates her personality, is that we had a really good group of women 3 years ago, and they nicknamed her Old Zesty. Old Zesty, because there's just never a down moment. There's never low energy. There's never a bad day. So that's Old Zesty over there.
Hey, Old Zesty. It's one thing to be a student athlete, but now you're an Ivy League student athlete, and she's also so far away from home. How did you keep her grounded, even though all those things could be a distraction?
Well, I think that's probably on her, as well as her parents, Mark and Margot over here, and Bob Shee right next to her, Grandma. You know, I don't, you know, listen, Maya is the quickest learner, quickest adapter I've ever seen. And so we have one conversation, we talk about something that needs to be adjusted, and it's put into practice. And like, this is a young lady that came to Harvard, and you know, we knew she was pretty good. Like, every time she ran, she had to get on a 20-hour flight from Ethiopia to New Zealand, and then she won. Like, did we suspect we'd end up here? I don't think so. But we knew she was good. But we also wondered, she's really bright. She's into a lot of things. I think her sophomore year at Harvard, she was president of the fashion magazine, Fig. I don't know if I'm getting the title wrong. I'm not into fashion.
You could have fooled me.
I was given strict marching instructions. No hat, so I feel naked. But anyways, with her, you know, it was one of those things where, like, her entire story arc at Harvard, it was learning and adapting. That's where she got where she was.
And she did an amazing job. Well, let's go back over there to Miss Zesty and John.
Yeah.
See what else I got to talk about.
Sounds like a boat. Old Zesty. Got there. Troll for salmon. Okay, so I have these questions. I mostly have nothing to do with track.
Okay.
You ready for this?
I'm ready.
So you're in Boston, right?
Mm-hmm.
Red Sox, Bruins, Celtics, or Patriots?
How terrible is it for me to say I've never been to any of the games? I went to a Celtics game in Texas, so I'm going to go Celtics.
All right, good. How about, would you prefer the All Blacks?
Yeah.
Can you do the haka?
No.
Okay, we won't put you on the spot. Was there an athlete at the Olympics that you crossed that you had to, like, just go, like, be cool?
I was lined up, like, my hip number was next to Faith Kipyegon, so that was pinch me. I was like, oh, she's got the pink defending champ bib, and hey.
Yeah, I could see that. That'd be a bit of a moment, for sure. Give me a kid's movie that scared you.
A kid's, I like Coraline, but it's a little creepy.
All right, good. What's in your fridge right now?
Not a lot. We tried to finish it all before.
Moved out, good.
Some apple crisp that someone made a few weeks ago. Bread.
A few weeks ago. Yeah, I'd stay away from that.
We're learning. It's our first time living off campus, you know?
So Harvard people are really smart. This is for the rest of us. Give me 3 things you can do with a book besides read it.
Right now, it's like a shelf in
Perfect.
my room.
Love it.
Yeah, it can prop up stuff in my house. It's kind of the same thing.
Keep a door open.
Yeah,
a lot of stuff.
exactly. You could write in it if you wanted to.
Which teammates would be in your band?
Like current teammates or Harvard teammates?
Harvard teammates. Unless you want to borrow somebody from Berkeley School of Music in Boston.
No. It's hard to choose from. There's some
Okay.
good ones. All of them. We could do an orchestra.
What a cop-out. Do they drive on the left side of the road or the right side of the road in New Zealand?
I'm so bad at my left and rights. Whatever the opposite of here is.
That's the left. How do you know which way to run around a track? Like, it's just, okay. Finally, what's tomorrow's workout?
Tomorrow?
Yeah,
8 miles, easy.
easy. What time?
When my parents leave, 4 p.m.
Oh, so later in the day. That's
Yeah,
good. We'll let you get out of
sleep
here. Maya Ramden, everybody, from Harvard. And our next finalist from the University of Oregon is Jada Ross. She began working on her autograph in 7th grade. Jada Ross, USA. And while she wasn't quite sure in which sport she'd realize her Olympic dream, there's something about going to the same high school as Bill Bowerman and Dick Fosbury that made a track career feel preordained.
Ross did know she wanted to be a Duck. And in 2024, she capped her season by becoming the first Oregon athlete to claim a national championship in the shot put. Even better, she did it in front of an adoring Hayward Field crowd.
Jada Ross, the junior, could have won the competition on any of her 6 throws. That's how dominant she was.
That title, part of a dominant outdoor season that saw her break the collegiate record 3 times, including the first ever 20-meter throw by a college woman. 20:01. Oh yeah, 4 kilos of pure shot put pleasure. Bowerman finalist Jada Ross.
I've said this before, I'll just remind people, every time you see one of those, you think, oh, that person's going to win. Then you see the next one, no, that's the person who's going to win. Then you see the last one, pretty sure that's the person that's going to win. I have no idea who's going to win. What went right this season?
Oh, I think everything went right. From kind of the start to the end, even the indoor season kind of lit a fire under me. And yeah, the first meet outdoors broke the record and just kept going from there. So, yeah.
So if I had a ruler or a tape measure, I know the difference between 19.99 and 20.01 is 2 centimeters. But if you throw that, like what do those 2 centimeters mean to an athlete?
Oh, 20 is like the god of women's throws. So like hitting 20 was everything.
What went right on that throw?
I think everything was kind of lined up. I think everything has to be lined up to throw 20 meters. So as far as mentality was good that day, speed was great, technique was great. Yeah, everything kind of felt great.
So how good are you at like estimating that? If you know it feels good coming off and you look at it like, we know it was far, like that was the one.
Yeah, you can feel a PR. So right after it left my hand, I knew it was a PR. I didn't know it was 20. So when they said 20, I remember just like kind of drop into the ground, just
right.
Woo, yeah. But you can definitely feel a PR after you hit one.
I think of that time Ryan Krauser when he broke the record. You remember he shot it and his hands were up before the thing ever had landed. Explain to me, or more importantly to our audience, what it's like to be a kid from Oregon who's great at track and be an Oregon Duck.
Yeah, I think it's everything. I think it's everything I dreamed of from a kid. Growing up in Oregon, wearing Ducks gear growing up, not even knowing what it means, but going to women's soccer games when I was younger, going to the football games, or watching the football games. You just kind of learn to love green and yellow, and like, it just feels right. And I remember getting recruited and thinking, you know, there's so many great schools, but this is my home, and this is what I want to represent, and this is what I want to succeed in. And it's going well so far.
So far, yeah, it's great. I kind of poked at the mile thing, and I've been there when Cooper Tier won the 5,000, they go crazy. But I was there when you threw, and I was in infield, and people were bonkers for you from the whole crowd. What's that feel like to kind of get those people put their arms around you?
Yeah, I mean, it just really emphasizes that Oregon's my home. It truly is my home field, and feeling all the love from the crowd, it's real. And just there's so many Ducks around that everybody loves cheering for a Duck, so it just felt great.
I am curious, like at your high school, how is Bill Bowerman recognized? How is he?
Yeah, there's the track is named after him. There's a meet named after him, and the coaches make a point to kind of educate about Bill Bowerman and the importance of him.
And then how about Dick Fosbury? Because some of us, that's like the most important guy in the world.
Yeah, you'd be surprised. There's not a lot of like physical things for him. We get taught about him. You know, I know about the Fosbury flop and all of that, but there's not a lot of.
Did you ever try it?
No.
Okay.
Not my event.
A lot of times on field day, you got to try a little bit of everything.
Yeah, not the flop. Not the flop.
Okay. Before we go over to Blue, I want to know what your coach means to you, your event coach means to you.
Yeah, I've been with Blue. This is my 3rd year with him. He is so patient with me. No, yeah, he's amazing. He knows this sport, and this is what I tell everyone. He is a genius in this sport, and I just appreciate his expertise and everything he gives me in practice and outside, all of the knowledge. Yeah, I'm very, very grateful for him.
Jeez, it's a love fest. Queen, what do you got over there?
Coach Blue Trig, yeah, what do you say to that, all that love?
Oh, there's a lot of love, that's for sure.
getting to be able to work with her and kind of see her development and see all the success all the way through the Olympics this year.
Nice. This isn't your first time on the stage. You've had, I want to say, 3 out of the 6 thrower finalists of the Bowerman. How does Jada, how's she different than the others?
Well, she's thrown farther than any of them.
That part.
There is that.
But I think all the kids that I've been lucky to work with are just great human beings, and the people who have seen them before, you know, Maggie Ewan and Turner Washington, they're just great people, and just had such a good time with them.
Wow. Well, thank you so much, Coach. We're rooting for you, Jada. Oregon has a winning tradition, so back over to you.
All right. Just finish this sentence then. I wish Coach would.
Ooh, I wish Coach would. Man, I don't even know.
No?
I wish Coach would.
Pick up a check?
Let me throw the 3K shot. Oh. I haven't touched a 3K in like 2 years. I want one so bad.
Really?
Yes.
Okay. Why? I mean, I get it. It's not as heavy as the other one, but why?
It just flies. It's just nice to see it go
Right.
really far.
Want to chuck it? Sure, I get it. Show you got a good arm. Give me your favorite place outside of Oregon.
Outside of Oregon, probably just right now I'd say Arizona, because that's where my sister lives. I get to see her.
There you go. Your sister's here, by the way. She stood up with him. Wave at her. Where is she? There
Hey,
she is.
sis.
Yeah, your roommate. Good. So I don't know if they do this for the shot. They totally should. If they let you have a walk-up song, what would it be?
Ooh, anything Ed Sheeran. That is my man.
It's him? That's the little redheaded guy, right?
Yes, and let me say, if Ed, if you're watching tonight, I love you.
I hope we get Ed here. That'd be great. What teammate of yours would drive the getaway car?
The getaway car. Probably my teammate Josie.
Josie?
She can drive.
Good.
She's speedy.
Give me just your thoughts on Ryan Krauser, because he seems sort of incredible for those of us on the outside, but you do what he does.
Thoughts on Ryan Krauser? I mean, he's just a really humble, down-to-earth guy. I mean, you see it, he'll break a world record and be fishing the next day. So,
Yeah.
So he's really easy to look up to. He's a really good guy.
If you had a time machine, would you go to the past or go to the future?
I would go to the past.
Really?
I like my past.
And throw the 3K shot?
And throw the 3K
Yeah,
shot.
totally.
Yeah.
I'd ask your favorite color, but I'm pretty sure that's green or yellow.
Green and yellow.
Yep. What do you think? What's tonight's attendance in the room?
I heard someone say like 500.
Is
Does
it?
that sound right?
All right. Let's start over here. You be one, and we'll just go around the room.
Okay.
That's it. Last gift you gave somebody, as long as we're in the holiday season.
Last gift I gave someone.
Yeah.
They're all in hiding. I can't tell you. Christmas isn't here yet.
Well, that's I want to know the last one. You can't tell.
Last one.
Here, just whisper it to me. Wait, no, the mic's on. Never mind. That'll never work. Jada Ross, everybody, from Oregon.
Thank you.
And our third female finalist from the University of Florida is Parker Valby.
All the races and most all the records. Florida's Parker Valby, simply put, had the greatest college season ever by a female distance runner. Pretty good for a youngster who for the longest time preferred swimming. The once reluctant runner went 4 for 4 in NCAA championships, the first clean sweep in the 43-year history of the women's meets. Wins at 3,000 meters indoor and 5,000 meters indoor. Titles at 5,000 meters outdoor and 10,000 meters outdoor.
Doesn't seem like much left to accomplish at the collegiate level, does it?
The records, 5K indoor and 5K out, including the first sub-15 clocking ever. Also, 10K out and the first woman under 31 minutes. Overall, 10 track races, 10 wins. She made it look easy. She made it look fun. Child's play. It's great to be a Bowerman finalist. Parker Valby.
I wrote all of it.
Finger claps.
Thank you. Golf clap? Yeah. Today in rehearsal and now, you turn around. What is it you don't like about the little Sparky
I was like
Parker?
6 years old.
It's okay. We all were.
That's true. Yeah, I just thought it was an interesting
That was your
ad.
first 5K?
That was my first
How'd it
5K
go?
with my mother. I destroyed her.
Nice. 14:52? No, not that.
No, not quite that. I honestly don't remember the time.
I would hope you
I
don't,
was a wee
honestly.
little child.
You were 6. You shouldn't be
Yeah.
keeping track. Give me the favorite race from this past season, though.
Ooh, that's a really tough one. I'd probably say, oh, are we only track and field here? This is.
No, if you want. I know we only vote track and field to get the award, but if you want to talk about the cross country, you can.
Yeah, I'd say it would be cross country, just
Which
because
one?
I love cross country with my whole heart. Really
Mhm.
saddened not to run it anymore. But out of track, ooh, I don't know. Probably, I don't know. That's a tough question.
We're going to sit here till we get a damn answer.
You know, I'd probably, okay, I'll say SEC's the 5K, because that was my first race on our home track.
Okay, there you go.
Yeah.
See? I'd be there, but my son was graduating, and I had to go
I was
see.
really hurt.
I had to go see the Sparky.
Yeah. I only cried myself to sleep.
That's it?
Yeah.
Fat tears on your big pillow and the whole thing.
Yeah. My pillow's actually not that big, but.
You win by a lot usually, and in really long races. Like, how do I stay focused when you're out there? For
You
that?
turn the brain off.
Yeah?
And you sing Hannah Montana in your brain.
Really?
And you wave to the cameras.
Just every time. Well, you did that indoor, right? Where you was it Claire Bryant that had a long jump?
Oh
that
yeah,
she took over the lead?
you watch
You were-
Claire doing her jumps, yeah.
Yeah, and so you're just trying to take in as much of the meat as you can
Oh
while
yeah,
you're
you
going
got to
around and
support
around.
your teammates.
Oh my goodness. What goes through your head in those races when it gets hard? Because it looks easy, but there's got to be points where it's tough. And then what do you start thinking?
Yeah, I don't know if it ever like really gets tough, but I think practice is a lot. I train a lot like harder, and I push myself harder in practice, so that the races are easier and more fun, you know, as they're supposed to be. But yeah, you tell yourself what Kelly says: what doesn't kill you makes you stronger. And like you can do anything for 5 minutes, you know, or however long it is.
I was gonna say you do it for 15 or 30, but okay, that's cool.
Well, like the last, but you're not hurting for that whole time. You know, if you're hurting the last mile, it's like it's less than 5 minutes.
It's a mile. That's
Yeah.
it. Some people can run it in 4:20, 4:02. Is that what you told me what it was? Was that close? What is it? Your PR.
Gibby gave a thumbs up, so I think that's correct.
If I missed by a tenth, I'm just trying. I'm sitting there. I don't have it with me. I'm just trying to do the best I can. So you're at Florida, and you have been their premier distance runner, but it is a school that has national championships and quarter milers and sprinters and jumpers. And the last 2 years, we've had Anna Hall here, and we've had Jasmine Moore.
She's actually here. Shout out Anna, wherever you
Where's
are.
Anna? There's no way.
She's here somewhere.
gosh.
I don't know.
How do you just sneak into a place like this? It's crazy. There you go. Good to see you. What does it mean to be a part of that program? Like, how does that help elevate you to be around all those other athletes?
Yeah, no, it's amazing. It really just like brings out the best in you, and that's a major reason why I chose the school, is because I wanted to be part of a bigger program than just myself. And yeah, it's awesome training alongside.
So and then tell me about, you said you were missing games, but you're going to miss running with cows. So I'm kind of fuzzy on the whole thing and curious about what is the running around
So
with
the cows don't really run,
Understood.
but we go to these like long dirt roads in Gainesville, and there's cows on them.
Yeah.
And yeah, it's just fun, a little fun distraction to watch them
Just
while
look
you
at
run.
them.
Yeah.
Do I dare
Hang out
ask,
with them
are
after.
they beef cattle or are they dairy cows?
Is there a difference?
There is,
Oh.
but that we can get into it later. That's again.
Okay, I didn't know
it's
that.
Wisconsin. That's what. What do you tell people now? So you left to Boston. What's your running career look like right now? What are you doing?
Ooh,
Where
real
you at?
cold. You go on a run and you don't warm up, and your hands are numb by the end of it.
So like running in Stillwater all over again. That
Yeah,
time we had the cross country.
That was rough as well. My hands never warmed up during that race either. But yeah, no, I'm having a grand old time in Boston. It's very different weather from
Good.
old Florida. But yeah, no, loving it there.
It's a shame Mi's not there. You could take her to a Red Sox game, and you guys could get that out of the way. Coach Will Palmer's snuck up on stage over there. Let's see what Will's got to say with.
I'm really concerned what he has to say.
Do ya?
Yeah.
Me too. Hey, Coach. You know what? This isn't our first time on stage together. You know that? You were actually on stage when I won my award.
Was I?
I think we got the footage. Isn't that you in the back?
Oh, wow. Okay. You're really bringing this out of the archives.
Why is he on corner.
Over in the corner.
What's that?
You were an intern then, but now you're a coach. How does it feel to be on the stage as an intern? No, that's not no
Wait.
shit.
We were talking back
I'm
there, and
embarrassed for
you
him.
told me what you were going to ask, and this is not what you.
I had to catch you off guard, coach. It had to be a surprise, okay? Well, how does it feel up on this stage as a coach, especially coaching an athlete like Parker?
Yeah, it's really a full circle moment. You know, as much as the athletes are really excited to be here, it's really fun to ride that journey with them.
Mm-hmm. And what does that journey look like? How did that look from when you first started working with Parker to now?
Yeah. Oh God. Interesting.
I can't wait for this one.
Exciting. Sometimes it's dangerous.
Oh.
Yeah.
Tell me more.
So we were in Paris.
We don't need to tell the story.
Hey. We're doing the interviewing over here. So
I'm not going to get the mic for very long. So.
My mic's on.
Yeah, we were in Paris. I think it was the day before the race, and Parker had a 35-minute run or something, and I started watch when they go out just to make sure nothing happens. And Parker was very adamant she wasn't going to run with her phone. And we're in a park, basically the size of Central Park. And Sam, my wife, and I are there, and she runs by us with like 5 minutes left. And she waves. She's like, look, I didn't get lost, 5 minutes goes by, 10 minutes goes by, 15 minutes goes by, and I'm like, starting to get a little worried. And so we start walking around, and she's probably been gone 20, 25 minutes. I'm like, this isn't good. We're in a foreign country. And so I call the Team USA coach, and shout out to Team USA. We have a lot of security and,
a lot of personnel.
Yeah. So the head of the security task force or whatever calls, and they're like, all right, send us your location. We're going to descend on you. And yeah. But thankfully, I think Parker almost ran over a really nice couple from the Netherlands, and
Sweden, I think.
Yeah.
They didn't speak very good English, I'll tell you that, but they saved my life.
And then in true Parker form, she somehow got back to the village without a credential and got inside without a credential.
I like your style,
You can do
girl.
anything with confidence.
I like your style. Is that confidence? Do you see it? I mean, when we see her on the track, it seems effortless and easy, like they said. Does she bring that same energy into training?
Yeah, she does. It's a pretty lighthearted environment with her.
Well, it's working, so I can't wait to hear more. Back to you, John.
Man, that's crazy. Is that how you remember the story?
Yeah, it was a little more. It was very
Where were you?
dramatic, actually. I ended up running like almost 10 miles the day before my Olympic 10K race. It was great. I don't know. I was like in the city. Where were we? It was like some park.
Yeah, a
We had
big
Ubered
park
there.
on the west side of the city.
So the details are pretty much agreed upon. That's
Oh,
how it went down.
yeah, for sure.
How was the Olympic experience? Because that came at the end of a really, really, really long season.
Yeah, I mean, I'm not gonna lie to you. I was really cooked. I was real tired there, but yeah, no, it was a great experience. I'm very grateful for it, and really looking forward to LA.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yeah, 2028. You told me you're going to medal.
I am. Yeah.
That's awesome. Go to the window right now with that information, people. Okay, let's see what we got here on the old cards and nonsense. Who does your braids on race day?
Gabby. Well, a lot of people have.
Okay.
Yeah, there's a whole lot, but mostly this past year, it's been our photographer, Gabby. Shout out, Gabby.
Okay.
Yeah.
Good. Are your parents off the road?
Yeah, they have a house in Clearwater now, on the beach.
Because they drove all around God's creation watching you run this summer.
They
right?
did. It's because I'm their favorite child.
Is it?
Yeah.
Where's Colson? You all right with that? Yeah, that happened. You're the oldest, right? Yeah, you get the birthright. You're fine. Don't worry about it.
I don't even know what that means.
What's in your suitcase when you go on vacation?
Ooh, when I go on vacation, I don't know. My phone, some bathing suits,
Mm-hmm. So you're not skiing?
skiing. If I'm going snow skiing, for sure.
Oh, okay.
I know how to water ski as well.
Okay, excellent. Like people
I'm not
who are
bringing those in
well-rounded.
my suitcase, though. Those are going to be there when I'm there.
Mm-hmm.
You pack skis in your suitcase?
Put what?
You put skis in your suitcase?
No.
Oh.
No, I have. Nope.
That wouldn't surprise me. You would do that.
No, I'm good. What's the most played song in your playlist?
Oh, I should know this. I think it was "I Can Do It with a Broken Heart" by Taylor Swift. I don't know why, but
Did you see her on the tour?
I didn't. I was running a lot of track races when
Okay,
she
you did
was
that.
on tour.
Describe Coach Holloway in one word.
Ooh, can I do a few words?
Well, the question was describe Coach Holloway in one word.
Okay, fine. Magnificent.
I would agree with that. Teammate that would bail you out of jail.
that would bail me out of jail? Ooh, probably Anna.
Anna, what?
Actually, she'd probably be like, you deserve that.
Okay, how about teammate that would be in jail with you?
Ooh, that's a hard one. Off the top of my head.
Don't have any accomplices?
Who would be in jail with me? I guess she's not on our team anymore, but Amelia Mazzadowny. She would definitely be in jail with me. Don't you agree? Oh, wait, I don't even know.
Yeah, that'd be great. Then she'd get deported afterwards, though.
She would get deported.
Yeah.
She did get deported. She's in Australia now.
That's good. Last one. When you and I start a business, what's it going to be?
Ooh, we're starting a business?
Yeah, when you and I start a business, what's it going to be?
Ooh, I have so many ideas.
What do you got? I don't want to be like a barista, though, for you and kombucha and tea and all that stuff.
Yeah, you know, I don't know if I could like say this publicly. Like, I have so many ideas that need to be trademarked first.
Okay.
So that
I
people
don't want
can
to get
steal
in there.
them.
Caitlin Tui was like that. She had a lot of ideas. She goes, one time I'm like, well, just give me one. She goes, I can't tell you. Like I was going to go steal these right away. So I understand.
Well, definitely not.
I don't want to infringe on your intellectual property. That's good. I'm just going to say thank you for being here. Congratulations.
Thank you for having me.
On a great season. Parker
Wonderful
Valby,
host. I hope you don't get fired.
I hope I don't either.
Do I leave now?
Not yet.
Oh.
So.
Oh, my shoe's coming off. I'm embarrassed.
That's all right. You'll be fine. Before we give away this year's Bowerman, Queen has a word with last year's Bowerman Award winner, Julian Alfred.
Yes. Yes. Okay, y'all beat me to the punch. Y'all beat me to the punch. I was going to say Bowerman Award winner, Olympic champion. Can we just get one more round of applause for Julian? Congratulations.
Thank you.
It really speaks to the caliber of athletes that come across this Bowerman stage, and you're no exemption of that. How did it feel to win the Bowerman Award and then the very next year become Olympic champion?
It felt amazing. Definitely wasn't expecting it to come that quick, especially after having such an amazing year last year, winning the Bowerman Award 2023, and coming back 2024, being Olympic champion. I mean, it just goes to show how, Flo really knows what he's doing.
I know that's right.
To prepare me for the right moments.
Wow. And you're from St. Lucia. If you're under a rock, you didn't see, but the homecoming welcome you got when you got back. Take me through that when you walked off that plane, and how did it feel to come home as an Olympic champion?
I was overwhelmed just stepping off the plane. Even before I got to St. Lucia, I was just bombarded with, love on the plane, at the airport, by my fellow St. Lucians, and just stepping off the plane and the welcome that I received, is truly motivating for me, and also just seeing the youth, how they received me as well. I really love my country, love my St. Lucians, and I love how they continue to support me.
Oh, that's beautiful. So well deserved, so well deserved. Well, you've been holding the title for the whole year, so now let's go over to Alfreda so she can tell us who's 2024.
Thank you, Queen. Good evening. Before I open this envelope, I would just like to take a few moments to thank the villages that all of these contestants or finalists have come from, because they are not here just because of one person. The family members stood up, but the coaches, and some of them started at age 3, 6, it goes way back. And the people that take care of your body for you, the trainers, the dietitians, the food that the school provides, and the administrators that make sure you have everything you need to compete. That is your village, and it's been the village for a very long time, and I'm grateful that that has not changed in college athletics. And I'd also like to thank Ms. Richardson for my moment in the sun. I don't know how many of you watched the Netflix show Sprint, and in episode 2, I had a cameo. So thank you. I love doing this, but I also feel a little bad because I want everybody to be a winner. But we only have one winner, and tonight's winner is Parker Valby. Don't lift it yet.
Hold on, I need to pull up my speech that ChatGPT wrote. And I'm not gonna lie, it did fail at writing it, so we're gonna half be speaking from the heart, half from my notes. I have like my key points on here, just being so real with you. So first of all, let me just say I am so honored to be a finalist among all of these amazing athletes, girls and guys. I know that we're not competing, although at first I kind of thought we were competing. Big thank you to the Bowerman Selection Committee for putting on such a great show, and it's an honor to be here, and yeah. When I first started running at the University of Florida, I never would have thought that I was going to be here accepting this 37-pound trophy. She's real heavy. I could barely lift that thing. There were many moments during my running career that I thought about quitting, so it's very surreal, and I'm super grateful to be here, and I wouldn't be able to do it without Coach William and Samantha Palmer, Adrian, my personal handler, Coach Holloway, and of course the entire Gator Nation. You've all supported me in ways that I didn't think were possible. And a huge shout out to my family, my parents, who quite frankly sold their house to get an RV and follow me around the country to come to all my races. They haven't missed a single race except for one that I didn't tell them about, and they got real mad about it. It really, truly takes a village to succeed at this level, and I wouldn't have been able to do any of this without my entire support system, and yeah. Lastly, I want to leave you all with some advice. If you're out there with dreams of competing in track and field or in any sport, don't let anyone ever tell you what you can or can't do, and do it your own way. In the words of my new employer, New Bounce, shout out to you, run your way. Thank you all, and have a good night.
Just for a second. Just hold on, just right here. I'm just going to wait till it's really uncomfortable.
Okay.
And then I'll start.
This is super awkward.
That is congratulations to Jada and Maya as well. Congratulations to you. And now we turn to our men's finalists, and all I can say is, gosh, I wish we could do the gals again. But anyway, you guys are terrific, and we start our first male finalist is Caleb Dean. He walked early, grew late, and was determined always. Turns out, that's a perfect combination of speed, size, and attitude to produce a champion. Texas Tech's Caleb Dean is a historic hurdler, the first man to win the national title in the 60-meter hurdles indoor and 400-meter hurdles outdoor in the same season. His winning time of 47:23 in Eugene made him the second fastest collegiate ever behind the great Ry Benjamin. The backstory to the story? He did it all after recovering from a broken foot suffered during warm-ups of the 2023 400 hurdle final at Nationals. Still managed to finish fourth in that race. Sweeter still, the Red Raiders winning their first ever national crown indoors in Boston. He didn't just beat them, he wrecked them. Bowerman finalist Caleb Dean. By the way, you give Kyle Garland a run for his money in green suits. That
thank you. I appreciate that.
Love it. You were at Maryland.
Yeah, I was.
Tell me why you decided you need the change and Lubbock was the place you need to go at Texas Tech.
Honestly, I fell in love with Maryland. That was the school I went to. They were my only offer. So I met my closest friend there. I met my girlfriend there. It was my home because I live like 30 minutes from the University of Maryland. But honestly, it wasn't the place for me. There were better opportunities elsewhere, and I kind of took that leap of faith and wanted to invest in myself. And I went to Texas Tech, the best sprints and hurdles program in NCAA history. Sorry, Grant, but.
And what clicked in Lubbock? Like, what was it that raised your game there?
I mean, I was surrounded by dogs. Each and every day I had to practice with the best of the best. So at every practice, I couldn't, I couldn't lack at practice or anything like that. Coach Rob, he gave me a lot of advice, a lot of coaching techniques and stuff like that. So I'm very grateful for him. So just like the whole support system around Lubbock, Texas Tech, the trainers, nutritionists, everybody.
they made you earn your scholarship.
Oh, yeah.
Like I watched, we the 60 indoors, 60 hurdles indoors, we can get you the relay baton outdoor. Like, do we enjoy that workload? Do we want more? Did we ever go, Coach, we're good?
Kind of. I remember my first conversation with Coach Rob. He called me. He was like, "Hey, Caleb, like we trying to offer you a scholarship to Texas Tech." And he was like, "What are you looking for?" I said, 100%. Like, are you crazy? Like, what you think?
Give me all the money.
Yeah. And he was like, "Oh, I don't think we could do 100%. We could give you 80." I'm like, 80? What you talking about? But I ended up going there, and I mean, I'm just an athlete. I like to compete. I'm a competitor, so the workload there was nothing new because I did that from high school all the way up.
So you get your own individual national championship, that's great, but what was Boston like when you finally get the trophy and you guys are the best team in the NCAA?
I mean, it was lit. It was a great feeling. We worked so hard for, that moment right there. So it was just a great moment. I was very blessed, surrounded by my teammates, and it was fun.
You jump outside, you run 47.23, and that flashes on the board. What's the first thing that went in your mind when you saw 47.23?
I was like, yo, that's crazy. I can't lie. That's crazy. Mm-hmm. Yeah, I didn't expect to run that fast. I mean, I knew I was going to run 47 in the finals because in the prelims I ran 48.05, that little selly. But in the finals I knew I was going to run 47, but I didn't think it was going to be that fast.
Mm-hmm. A lot of Olympic people here. You were this close. How have you managed how the trials went? You're close, you hit a hurdle, now you're out. How have you managed that, and how is that moving us forward in our career?
Yeah, it was definitely tough. A couple of days I was in my feelings, listening to a lot of Rod Wave. But it just gives me motivation now. Every time I'm at practice and I don't feel like doing an extra rep, I just think of that moment when I was on the ground, looking up at the screen, noticing DNF by my name. So it gives me motivation, and I'm ready to shock the world next year.
This may come as a shock, but could you repeat who you were listening to again?
Rod Wave. I just went to see his concert on Tuesday, so that's my boy.
Rod Wave.
I don't know him personally, but I like his music.
Sure. You want to guess the over and under of number of Rod Wave sounds I have in my playlist?
Probably zero.
Probably zero is exactly right on, but I'm glad you were there. Real quick, this morning you announced Grand Slam track. Like, congratulations, you got a steady work.
Thank you, I appreciate it.
Like, it's an exciting new venture. What sold you on it?
I get to compete with the best of the best. So, I mean, that sold me, and the money,
You getting the full, or are you just getting 80%?
The full.
Getting all the full. Excellent. Let's go over and see what Coach Calvin has to say. The Queen?
Hey, we got Coach Rob over here. How you doing?
I'm doing great. How you doing?
I'm good. So, first of all, did Caleb earn that 100%? I heard he was working toward it.
For the record, he came in on 80.
Okay.
And then he got to 100 the second year.
So he worked for it?
He did.
Okay, so that's probably a testament to his work ethic, especially when you have so many events. How do you keep him focused during practice when there's this event, and that one too?
That is the toughest task with Caleb. He is not the most focused person. But I will say this, when he comes to the track, that switch shifts, and he is very focused on the track, but you just got to get him to that point first.
He's obviously focused. If I remember correctly, he didn't compete until Big 12's outdoor.
Yes, that's correct.
That was his
Big 12
first
was
race.
his first meet.
How did y'all prepare for the rest of the season when such a big championship was his first race of the season?
Well, we sustained a slight injury early in the outdoor season following the indoor, and it was a gamble to say the least, but we had a plan, and we went in, and we knew Big 12 would be the first meet, and obviously with the regional standard, he didn't have a mark or anything, so it was a big gamble.
Right.
But as history would tell, it worked out well.
Obviously, y'all gamble well. Well, back to you, John, over there. Thank you, Coach.
All right, very good. First off, your folks are there. Are you more like your mom or more like your dad?
I think I'm more like my mom, but everybody else says I'm like my dad.
Why is that?
I don't know, I just act just like him, I guess.
Okay. What would you say? Is he more like you, or is he more like, Mom, you can answer. Okay. But on the track, the killer instinct is you. Okay. He's definitely, okay. Who's funnier, you or Terrence Jones?
Me. Terrence quiet. He's quiet. He doesn't say a lot.
He told me before Nationals, I said, what do you like about Lubbock? He goes, reminds me of home. I'm like, dude, you're from the Bahamas.
Yeah, literally. I don't know how.
Yeah, it reminds him of home.
Yeah.
Okay. Here's a little Texas quiz, and I feel bad. I wrote this afternoon, and now it sounds like I described Leo's outfit. But do you have a cowboy hat?
I do not.
Do you have cowboy boots?
I do not.
Do you have a pickup?
No.
Do you have a horse?
No, I wish.
Okay.
Hopefully
right.
someday.
If you got anything left over, our guys hurt. Okay. Oh yeah, belt buckle. You got it? No.
Nah, I don't have anything.
Okay. When you text, do you use emojis?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I like the crying face emoji. That's kind of
good.
That's my most used emoji.
I made a joke about your height, but I feel like I know the answer. Can you dunk?
Of course.
Of course you can. Yeah.
Of course I could dunk. You know, a little windmill. You know,
Come on
nothing
now.
too crazy.
Would you rather give up your smartphone or a laptop?
Laptop.
Okay, you got to keep the phone.
Yeah.
Can you imitate Coach Wes, Coach Kitley?
Dang, y'all put me on spot. I can't right now.
Okay.
Y'all put me on spot.
Does he have something he says a lot?
No, he does say a lot.
Like what?
I'm on spot again. I don't know. Maybe after this, I'll think of something for sure.
Does he ever say I'm a hell of a coach if you just asked me? Or
Oh, no, he's humble. Humble guy right there.
There we go. Okay. Most recent movie you saw?
Smile 3. Oh, Smile 2? Smile 2.
Smile 2?
Smile 2.
Okay.
Smile 2.
How expensive does the dinner check have to be before you say, can we split that?
If I'm with my girlfriend, you know, I'll cover it. I'm a gentleman.
You should, absolutely.
You know, but if I'm with a friend, of course I'm splitting it 50, you know.
Okay. I've asked this before, but long as she's here, like what's the appropriate amount to spend on a Christmas gift on your girlfriend?
She bougie. So I say minimum 500.
Okay.
Nothing too crazy.
That's all right.
Oh, that's crazy? Oh, shoot.
I'm just curious. I'm not taking sides on this. Although we know he just came into some fresh cash this morning. Finally, tell me, what would a Caleb Dean t-shirt look like? What would you do with it?
I would probably have a picture of me doing like a backflip or something like that. I mean,
okay.
You know, I always like to do backflips. So
I did not know that, but
yeah, I did one at graduation and I almost like busted my butt. So never again.
That was your master's degree, right? You got 2 of them?
Yeah, undergrad I did the backflip, but now I'm actually pro now. I gotta save my legs. They make me money, so I just hit the Shamar dance at this most recent graduation.
But see, you got to make smart decisions.
Yeah, for
it's
sure.
Good for you when you do
For
that.
sure.
Everybody, Caleb Dean from Texas Tech.
Thank you.
Hang on.
Oh, nothing.
Our next finalist from Georgia is Christopher Morales-Williams.
Oh, Canada. Christopher Morales-Williams started with soccer as a kid, but found sprinting was more his speed. And in his sophomore season at Georgia, nobody could keep up. Shocked the world with a world all-time best of 44.49 in the 400 at the SEC Indoor Championships. Oh yeah. Oh yeah. 44.49 for the sophomore from Georgia. Backed it up with a national championship run in Boston. He then made it a sweep of the 400 at the conference and national meets outdoor.
And Canada, you gotta stand up now, because CMW is putting on for his city.
Representing his home country internationally was once a World Cup goal. It turned into an Olympic reality the day before his 20th birthday. You know you're fast when all you need are initials. CMW, Bowerman Finalist.
I don't know if I know you well enough. Can I call you CMW? Like, are you good with that?
You can. That's
The initials are cool. I like it. Okay. What's it like to run 44.49?
It was like, that's pretty awesome. But now it's just a memory. So I got to kind of do it again so I can remember what it feels like.
But in the moment, like, because you're indoors, so twice, like, you like, damn, I'm going faster. Like, any sense of that in the moment?
Because it's so fast, it's almost like, man, that was the easiest race of my life. It's almost like your best races are your easiest ones. And then your slowest races, it's like, oh, man, like I gained weight or something.
And how do we feel that, like, I don't know if there's a distinction between this is the world all-time best and the world record. I mean, the time is the time. How did you feel about that when they finally go, oh, by the way, nice, but we're going to make it a world best?
I mean, like, I guess they were kind of making these rules up, but at the end of the day, like, people are going to still see it as the world record. Like, I saw Michael Norman's time as the world record. I didn't even know it wasn't. I didn't even know it was not ratified. So people are still going to see it as the world record or world best, and everyone's always saying like, nah, like I'm going to call it the world record, not the world best. It's like, yeah, I think like almost everyone is, but it's honestly, to me, it just doesn't bother me. Like I'll just try to go and do it again.
But is that what your bracelet is?
Oh yes, I have.
He's got a little bracelet. You see, he's got a little WR.
Yeah, my girlfriend made that for me. So.
She's good for her. That's because she don't want to date a world best. She wants to date the world record holder.
That's right.
You know, just bring home. Who are you bringing home to mom? And the world best. Really? You can't find a world record holder. You were a soccer kid. How'd you make the switch into track?
Soccer. Like that's all I ever wanted to do. Soccer. You know, I was gonna play for Ecuador because Canada wasn't really doing too good, and World Cup was what I always wanted to do. And then eventually, my dad's like, you know, you're pretty fast, and you know, your brother's doing track and your sister's doing track. I said, no, I'll keep doing soccer. And then that year where I made the switch, we lost like 24-0. Like we would not win any games.
You lost. Your soccer team did.
We lost 24-0, maybe even more. But
they were counting by ones.
It was like a 6v11, like no one would show up to the games. And I was like, man, you know, I think I'm kind of like tired of this. I don't really want to do it anymore. And then my next door neighbor, Paolo, he said, yeah, I'm going to do track too. I was like, you know what? I might as well give it a shot. Like, why not? My dad bought me running shoes anyways. And then I go make the switch. I'm going to be a 200-meter guy, you know, or then I was like, I'll be a 1-4 guy, you know, be this kind of weird hybrid. And then ended up doing good in the 4. And I was like, man, I don't really like this event. I don't really want to go to school for it. I just want to do art. And then I didn't think I was good enough to go to school for it. And then here I am still doing the 400, even though I was going to be a 200-meter guy. And I don't think I can make the switch yet, but maybe in a couple of years I'll go down to like 60, 100.
You can drop down.
Yeah.
Listen, Fred Curley, everybody thought he was nuts, and it worked, right? So I'm not going to tell you can't do that. But as you're switching over, and you talked about you didn't know if you could run in college, the COVID hits, and they wipe out 2 seasons. How did you make it through that? Like, how did you persevere, and what'd you do to keep yourself in the sport?
Yeah, that COVID was kind of the big switch for me of why I was, you know, maybe I will continue to do track because COVID hit. And that was around springtime. And so I kind of just biked because I had a lot of like shin splints, so I couldn't really run. Practice comes around in the summer for about a month. We practice. I was out of shape for the 400. And I was like, man, I don't ever want to be out of shape again. So then we get our 3rd like lockdown for Canada out of the 20 that we got. And I was like, well, I'm going to go on a run and stay in shape. Then it gets colder, you know, it's negative 20 degrees, it's snowing, whatever, snowstorm. I'm gonna go on a run. It's Tuesday, I gotta get ready for practice. My dad's like, no, just go tomorrow. I said, no, it's Tuesday, I gotta go to practice. It's Thursday, I gotta go to practice, Saturday. And it'll be negative, you know, 30 degrees, I'll wear 2 pairs of pants, 4 sweaters, 2 pairs of gloves, a face mask. I'll run around in like neighborhood, keep going, do 12 kilometers in the snow. I tried doing speed work in the snow, and then eventually it's grade 12, and like that's when the year you kind of try to get recruited, and I ended up going to, what's it called? New Balance Nationals, or is it Nike Nationals? I can't remember which one, but it was in Ocean Breeze.
Says the Adidas kid, he didn't know.
Yeah, I don't know. But I was there, I came 3rd, and I had not touched the track. Like I ran in the snow, and then showed up and ran and came 3rd. And then I never had a full season of track until this year. This is my first full season since grade 9, so it was like, and I knew it deep down. It was like, because of what I did with COVID, I was like, I know I'm a year behind. Like, I know that every time I ran is what I should have done had COVID not had happened. And then this was my breakout year. So
it was. What a jump. Did you go to Coach Carroll and just go, but you should see me in the snow, Coach. Like, I can kill it.
I mean, no, but I was.
You don't run into that in Athens, at least, right?
No. Sorry?
You don't run into that in Athens. Not a problem. Haven't run in the snow once.
No, luckily when it gets cold, it doesn't rain. And then when it's hot, it rains all the time.
It's a remarkable story. It's a remarkable time. And then it said we backed it up with a Canadian record. Still hasn't been ratified, right? 44.05. We're still waiting on that thing?
No, that
finally has?
Yeah.
Okay, that's good. So at least that one's put aside. Queen, you've got Coach over there. Let's see what he's got to say about his great protege.
You have the pleasure of coaching Christopher. How is he so young? What is it like to coach such a young talent and where he possibly could go?
He's young but very coachable. He's very pleasant to work with and growth mindset kind of guy. So we can talk about the future and plan. And last year when we first started together, we talked about the Olympic finals. That's the first thing we talked about, that, hey, we're going to work hard this year and see if we can make it there. So.
Nice. Now, how is he at training? Because from what I've seen, he seems like he has a very calm demeanor. Is that a front, or what is it like at practice?
He's very calm, but you can tell from his reaction. Like the last practice we did on Saturday, after the last rep, we had a series of, intervals. And after the last rep, he was kind of, his hands were up in the air celebrating because, he had the goal times.
Nice. You're beating your chest over there? You're beating your chest, Christopher?
I was just kind of like
yeah.
he was calm the whole practice, but, when he does something special, you see him celebrating.
Nice. So I know we'll have a lot of that in the future because, like I said, he is so young. That future is bright. We've had amazing 400 runners in America. What sets him apart from what you've seen?
I think he grasped concepts really quickly and really developed a good understanding of the race. So during the indoor season, we'll run a race, get his splits, then meet on Monday and talk about how he ran the race and how we could do better, and he will just understand it.
Nice.
Then we'll go to the next race and try to fix it. And, Coach Carroll is holding both of us accountable, so she knows the plan too, and we like to make her proud. So
that's a big boss to look up to.
Absolutely. Yeah,
Let's hear more. Thank you so much, Coach.
Okay. I don't know if we should say how many we can get through here in 44 seconds, but we'll see what we can do. Okay. I used your initials, but as I look, Christopher Morales-Williams. Why no hyphen between Morales and Williams?
Okay, see, so Morales is my father's name because he's Ecuadorian, and then Williams is my mother's name because she's Jamaican. And it's always like I want to make sure, because I used to go as just Morales in elementary school. Then I started putting Morales-Williams because I want to, recognize my mother since she passed away at a really young age. So I always put Morales-Williams, and I always emphasize no hyphen because Morales is my dad, and then Williams is my mom. And I really want to show like Williams is my mom because, like even though she hasn't been there for me, like I always do this for her,
And your dad was there at the end. Your dad was there at the NCAA's, and we kind of got him on the track. That was an unbelievable moment. What was it like for you to have him there?
When he, like the moment I kind of put my arms around him and hugged him, I kind of almost felt like I passed out. Like I just completely. He said it himself that he felt like the weight of the world just go on his shoulders. Like I completely just. It was this relief that to just be in his arms. Like I'm so happy. Like I'm so happy, Pap. It's done. Like I did it. And it's just, I've always been saying that. I said to him the year after Nationals, I flew home. I said, I'm going to win and I'm going to go pro next year. I'm going to win Nationals, I'm going to go pro. Just watch. And then it was like, it just ended up.
What are you manifesting for next year, just so we keep an eye on what's going on?
I don't know.
That's
like,
awesome.
I guess I'm going to do significantly better than I did this year.
We heard Parker say that by the end of the Olympics, she was cooked and running. Like you looked in Paris like a guy who had run umpteen 400. How many did you run last year?
I don't know how many 400s, but races was 36.
Yeah, that's a lot to go through there. Help me out here. Who do you know who has the Canadian record in the 100?
In the 100?
Yeah.
It's I know his name, Donovan Bailey.
Correct. Who's got it in the 200?
Andre DeGrasse.
For sure. Who's got the 400?
It might be me.
That's totally you. Do you know what the Canadian record, follow me on this, you know what the Canadian record is in the 4x4?
4x4, the time?
Yeah.
It's like 3:02.
46, you know when they ran it?
It was at the Olympics?
76 Olympics, they took fourth. You know who was on the winning American team? That guy right there, Herman Fraser. I don't know if you knew that. He was on the gold
yes,
medal.
because he just told me.
Did he?
Yeah.
Some people, it's hard to give up on what we've done and our accomplishments. How much sleep is the right amount of sleep?
I would say between 8 to 9 hours.
Good. Is there anything you won't eat?
I don't like fried food.
Okay. Why are you not a hockey fan?
Because it's expensive and I never got into it because I don't like sports.
If I could give you a pet, would you rather have a penguin, an elephant, or a kangaroo?
Kangaroo, easily. I love marsupials.
Do you?
Yep.
Beautiful. Finally, as we're in the holiday season, you kind of help explain it to me. I like to. Explain to me what Boxing Day is in Canada.
Boxing Day, yeah. So it's not a day where you go and beat up people. It's just pretty much our Black Friday, but in Canada. But it's a national holiday, so you get the day off. It's also time and a half, so if you're working at fast food or something, you get paid extra. And you pretty much just go and buy a bunch of stuff on sale. But most of the time, they'll raise the price the day before, so that it's actually the same price. Or it's all sold out, and you go to the mall, and you wait in the line for about 2 hours, don't buy anything, and then you go home. And
So it doesn't seem that great, really.
No, it's not, but it's cool because things are on sale.
But it's always on, at least now I know it's on my day planner. CMW, everybody. And our final male Bowerman finalist, Old Tex himself, Leo Neugebauer.
Longhorn Leo Neugebauer wasn't always the day in the life of a 6'7", 240-pound decathlete of social media and Olympic silver medal fame. No, there was a time when Leo was little, a lot of years ago, and a lot of time zones from Austin, Texas. What started as after-school fun at age 6 in Germany ended up as a record-breaking career at UT. His 8,961 points at the NCAA meet in June, not just an all-time collegiate best, also the 6th highest score in the event ever worldwide. Bettered his previous college mark by 125 points as he went back-to-back. Neugebauer also put up a decathlon world best in the discus, qualified to throw in the open discus at nationals too. Now throwing a sweep of Big 12 long jump titles and a couple of those Leo the German t-shirts, and the kid is all grown up and a star. Leo Neugebauer, a Bowerman finalist for the 2nd straight year.
You were a cute little Sparky.
I'm sorry?
You were a cute little Sparky.
Thank you so much. I appreciate
Just
that.
like that. You're back again. Why was this year better than last year?
Because this year I might have a chance. Who knows? I mean,
I was thinking more of the season and not just necessarily for accolades.
Okay, I had a great season, I gotta say. This season has been a dream. I did a bunch of things, and it was just a lot of fun, and got a lot of support here from this area, and yeah.
Mm-hmm. This year, though, it felt like you were just such a dominant guy amongst that event group. How'd you kind of focus every time? And I know there were only a couple, but you didn't have AOD, or you didn't have Kyle Garland out there. How did you focus yourself to compete when sometimes it was lesser competition?
I always see it like I'm trying to beat myself, if that makes sense. And in decathlon, you always have to go from event to event. You can't just skip ahead to the end, because then, you know, it all gets to your head. And because, trust me, too many people thinking about the 1500 because it is scary. Like, standing on that line, you just want to, you know, just drop dead right there, you know. But like once you're done with that, it's like a party almost. Like all the decathletes go together. We're all doing the little lap together, and it's a great family.
So in that, what's the key to staying in that moment over 2 days? Because it seems like there's a lot of time to let yourself wander if you're not careful.
For sure. I mean, I've done a decathlon for a long time now, and you know, you learn with every single year. And I always try to, you know, after a season, like sit down and think about, you know, what did I do wrong? What can I do better for the future? And I do that every year, and that's why it keeps going up.
There's 10 events. Do you have a favorite part of training?
Training. I mean, I love the pole vault, because who doesn't like chunking themselves with a sticker up? Can you relate?
Well, I've often thought like they should, like you have public tennis courts. Like I think they should just have public pole vault courts.
Right?
See what happens.
Just random people just run.
It'd be the second leading cause of death of young men in America if they did that. Is there anything in those 10 events that you dislike and you just have to endure to get to the ones you do like?
I mean, can you guess?
Well, the 1500 is at the end, so I'm talking about, you know.
It's hard to say, because to be honest, I enjoy like everything about the decathlon. I used to not like the 400, but you know, over the years, I kind of got used to it, and then with a lot of training and screaming at in practice, I had to do a lot of reps, and it got easier. But yeah, I would say it used to be the 400, but now with all my teammates just enjoying seeing me suffer from the lactic acid, it's all right.
Because I've seen Flo, right? Like he's quiet, but he can be direct.
Oh yeah. You know what is the scariest? Whenever he gets this little voice crack in practice, ooh, you know you're in trouble.
Really?
Yep.
When was the last time you kind of had he got a little talking to?
I think that's like almost every week, honestly. Like I always get in some kind of trouble, you know what I mean? But
it's all right. Good
I always
trouble.
bounce back, yeah.
Good trouble's all right. Take me through your Olympic experience. Because I noticed you didn't put on the shiny silver medal, but that would have been cool to see, but that's fine. You don't need to show off. But what were those 2 days like?
Man, I gotta say, I've never seen anything like that. So, you know, obviously the stadium great, the atmosphere was great, my entire family, friends, everybody was there. I think the craziest part for me was the day 2 morning session, right?
Mm-hmm.
Everything was done besides the decathlon pole vault. It was gonna start in 30 minutes. The entire stadium stayed there to watch us warm up and then watch us compete only for the decathlon pole vault. That never happens ever, so I really appreciated that a lot.
Well, but who wouldn't want to see a person go, up on a stick?
Right.
Right, that's probably it. So we've seen some pictures in these videos of all of you athletes in your youth and your young people. Tell me about the kid that showed up in Austin, who was probably struggling to get to 7,900, compared to the guy that's leaving that had 8,900.
Yeah, a lot has happened. I think the transition was just crazy from me, like everything, mindset-wise, body-wise, everything. The way I came in and the way I am right now, there's a lot of like moving parts that contributed to that. All the coaches and staff, and I always try to soak up as much information as I can. And yeah, it's been a great process, and yeah.
Was there any seminal moment where you went, okay, I'm good at this, but if I'm going to be great, I have to do this? Or where you just went, okay, I have to dedicate myself at this point?
Yeah, I mean, my big turning point was before Texas Relays 2023. That's when, a lot has happened in my world. And I kind of like realized life is too short, you've got to really take advantage of the moment. And then like a month after I qualified for the Olympics, actually fun fact, I was the first guy in track and field in general to qualify basically, because the decathlon opening window was a little bit longer, and I did it in March already, in 2023.
Did they give you any extra points for that? Did anybody come up to you in Paris and go, hey,
just slip me some points?
In. Yeah.
No, unfortunately not.
We should go over and listen to Coach Jim over there with Queen.
Hey, Coach G. Leo has such an infectious personality. Does he bring that energy to training every day?
1,000%.
He does.
Every single day.
Does he bring the fashion sense as well?
No, he just wears his Nike stuff, so yeah.
What?
You don't wear that.
But everybody knows I post the outfit of the day picture almost every day.
Oh.
Come on, man.
Okay. So he upped the ante.
Yeah, he does, but you don't wear it to practice.
That's fair.
So, yeah, okay.
But besides the fashion sense, obviously we've seen these amazing stats and everything that Leo's been able to do. What sets him apart from other athletes that you coached, and what will it look like to bring the Bowerman home to Texas after this being your second year as a finalist?
Gosh. Honest to God, bringing the trophy home to Austin would be the first one ever on the men's side. So being 2-time here, that would be amazing. But the infectious stuff that he brings to practice just encourages everybody else, his teammates and now the pros and everything else. So having him at practice now with the younger kids, it's phenomenal. So
to the next generation.
Yeah, for sure.
Well, yeah, good luck, Leo, and back to you and John.
He's kind of harsh about this, wasn't he?
I know, right? Like I'm always.
All I know though is that when we watch the college football playoff, if Bevo's not there, we'll know what the hell happened. That would be terrible. Okay.
Wait, earlier you asked me if I got in trouble with Flo before, right?
Yeah.
Actually, last week, I really forgot to look at the schedule. It was Saturday morning. I was ready to go to a coffee shop. I had my lights set up. I was about to take the outfit of the day picture. Flo called, Leo, get into the weight room right now. I said, oh my God, I totally forgot. So I'm sorry, Coach Flo, but I showed up. I paid the price. It was a hard workout, but yeah, got the workout done.
But then you went to the coffee shop?
Yeah,
okay, good.
That's farmer's market, actually.
Will I make your vlog or your Insta story or FaceX tonight? I would love to.
Yeah, my videographer's right there, so my sister.
Very good. Where do I get one of them 8-foot beanbag chairs that you have that you're diving into all the time?
Man, Amazon. Yeah, Amazon, okay. I got a link, so I get like 10% of the sale.
Describe your enthusiasm this spring for the open discus.
Oh my God, man, I was just feeling it. I don't know what I should say, Like sometimes, like the discus is like an event for me. If it leaves my hand, it feels better than anything I've ever felt in this world, you know?
Sure.
It just leaves and flies, and oh my God.
And yet at Nationals, after you won the decathlon, they said, hey, you got to throw tomorrow. You were decidedly not excited.
So the next morning, you know, I did the decathlon, right? The next morning, man, I went out of bed, my legs just wouldn't move, you know? But, you know, we got it done. I still threw really good, and yeah, it was definitely an experience.
All right, last thing you cooked that wasn't good, because everything on the vlog is delicious, or I cooked this and it was magnificent. What was the last thing you made that was like, ooh, missed?
Funny enough, like, rice is hard to cook. In a pot, have y'all tried to cook rice in a pot? It's hard. Like, I asked my mom, she said, like, pour, like, a little bit of water, and then, like, if it goes down, pour a little more. I burnt everything.
Wow.
I don't know how to do that. I don't know.
All right, no curry at your house. If you could take credit for an invention, what would it be?
Invention?
What would you like to have invented?
Man, I mean, also the same as Parker.
Yeah.
You know, I can't give my secrets, you know. Who knows what I'm coming out with.
All right.
IP.
I was going to ask you Wicked or Gladiator 2, and then I saw you on the web in some sort of Roman. What the hell was that about?
So actually, when
you guys see him in his Gladiator get-up?
So
like, think this, but Gladiator.
So when I was in Germany, you know, the Gladiator people were like, you know, Leo, you're 6'7", 240 pounds, come over here.
That's the first I've heard that, 6'7", 240.
Right?
Say. Yeah, okay.
And yeah, then I was moving through the streets of Germany, of Berlin, with 100 people, 100 gladiators behind me. I was leading them through the streets into the cinema.
It's amazing. Who won the Bowerman for the women 20 minutes ago?
Parker.
Good, just seeing if you're paying attention. Finally, tell me I'm an exceptional host, but tell me it in German.
Du bist ein wundervoller Host und du machst einen fantastischen Job.
Oh, hell yes. Leo Neugebauer. And as we did with the ladies, before we present the Male Bowerman Award for 2024, we listened to a conversation with last year's winner, Jaden Hibbert, or with Queen Harrison Clay.
Hi, Jaden. Are you ready to pass off the award?
Yes, it's heavy though.
Yes. How did this last year feel to be the Bowerman Award winner, and how did it change your life?
I'm gonna lie, guys, I'm low-key nervous right now. I never thought I would be, but overall, just enjoying the community. You know, when I'm at school, everybody be like, oh, Jaden is here. He's never here at the track.
Yes.
You know, he's a Bowerman.
So you're a celebrity now.
Right.
Okay, nice. Any words of encouragement or word of advice to the finalists before we find out the winner?
Just to say that you guys are all winners despite whoever name gets called next. I look up to y'all. I've been watching y'all all season, and trust me, y'all inspire me a lot, so I'm proud of all of you and very proud of the winner to come.
Nice, that was so sweet, Jaden. Well, we'll go to Herman and see who's the winner.
Thank you, Queen. John, it looks like they took your tip jar. There you go. Just a few comments before we close out the program. The first thing I'd like to say is, again, as I get up here every year, thank you, Sam Seams, for your vision to be able to start this. We really appreciate it. Let me also say to Carol, as you guys are winding down this convention, and I know as a person who's involved in collegiate athletics, there's some interesting things going on and some interesting times in our sport. But in order for us to still be able to recognize athletes here like we did this evening, we need everybody to come together because we know there's a lot of things going on behind the scenes. And so as coaches and administrators and everyone else, this is what collegiate athletics is all about. As you look at these banners on both of these walls, as you look at the people behind us. So please continue to help our sport. And Alfreda and I get to be the people who are here on the last evening, but a shout out to all the other people who are on our committee who put this together and continue to follow track and field during the course of the year. So without further ado, the 2024 men's winner for the Bowerman, Leo Neugebauer.
Oh my God, this is unreal. My guy, give me some. Oh, boy, let me pull up my speech real quick. First of all, I want to thank all of you for being here. Thanks for the Bowerman committee for being here. Actually, John, I got also a little something for you. Yes. So, yeah, the decathlon, huh? Every decathlete loves doing it until it comes to the 1500, and then we just want to die, you know? So it's definitely a lot of, person to carry around the track for almost 4 laps, and yeah, I've come a long way. I want to thank first, obviously, my 2 main coaches, Garnham and Flo. They're literally like my 50-50 team, helping me all along the way. So a quick thank you for them. And hold on. I want to start with Garnham. Actually, so the 2 of them, they're kind of like my American parents. My German parents are right there, and they're my American parents. And I know Garnham hates when I say this, but, you know, he's kind of like my American mom. I'm sorry. But that's not in a bad way, you know? Like, moms are very sensitive, and, like, you know, they're always there for you, and I love hanging out with him. I actually love, going, like, places with him, like, especially Germany and stuff. The funniest thing is, whenever like we're in Germany, you see like all the German coaches drinking beer, having fun, and Garnham is laughing too. I'm like, you don't understand a word they're saying, so why are you laughing? But it's all right. And then, yeah, my favorite moment, which you probably already know, my very first outdoor nationals. We were bad that year. We were so bad, and then after the javelin, we knew we were in trouble, and we had to run that 1500, and everybody knows I do not like running the 1500. But yeah, it was like a great memory. We shared and just laughed, and man, thank you for everything. Yeah. Next up, Flo, my dad in that relationship. Flo is, like a dad. He's very strict, very enforcing of the rules and stuff, but everybody knows that's what you also need to, get where you want to get. And, Flo has a couple of things that he says in practice, like whenever I'm running, and then I'm like, Flo, I promise you, I'm giving it my all. He always says, "A bullshit?" Yeah, you say that too, Oh, man. Yeah, and then my favorite moment with you is, when I was there the first time in Austin in 2019 on my visit. I was sitting there, I was like, man, I, really want to come here. I was such an inexperienced young guy, and look at us now, we've come a long way, and I really appreciate everything you've done for me. Thank you. Then next up, I want to thank all the medical people, so spearheaded by Gwen, because this is a lot of meat to take care of, 240 pounds. Don't laugh. Don't laugh. I knew you were going to laugh too, so don't laugh. Then I want to thank our operations manager, Kayla, the beautiful Kayla. Then, some of my teammates, Christine, she's been with me through thick and thin because she's been also multi all this time. So I really appreciate all the talks on the planes and in the coffee shops there, and obviously the beautiful Julian Alfred, a small little clap for her. She's always so inspiring, so literally between reps when I'm like on my knees like this, she's like, Leo, get up, you look stupid like that, and I need that, So thanks to them. Then the rest of the coaches, Coach Ricky Morgan, yeah. Then Coach Zion and Coach Metcalf, actually. Metcalf, he literally sometimes randomly makes my day because it's the day before nationals. Look, it's the day before nationals. I'm in the pre-meet. I'm locked in, right? Metcalf just stops me and says, Leo, you know what? You're so handsome, man. I'm like, I am? Thanks, man. That just makes my day and it makes everything more easy going. Even, when was it? Today and yesterday, he's been telling me how, he likes me, and I appreciate that. So thank you to all of y'all. Then also the media team, my two people right here, Ashley and Jake, y'all are my people. Actually, they're the people that I spent the most time with because at the meets, they're there from the first event to the very, very last event. I appreciate everything y'all do. They literally keep me in an easy mood. Everybody's asking me, Leo, how are you always in such a good mood? It's fun watching you. They have the camera pointed to me. I gotta do a little dance, a little hook 'em, everything. So I appreciate you guys so much. Y'all keep it always so fun, so easy going. So thanks to y'all as well. And oh my God, I have my phone in energy save mode, so it always closes up. So bearing with me. Who did I forget? My friends, my two closest friends here in America, EJ and Brian. Shout out to y'all. EJ is baby Flo. So yeah. And also, I want to shout out my best friend in Germany. So I love that guy. We've literally been together since I was 7, or since we were 7. And yeah, when I'm with him, I don't know if y'all know that word, but I'm glazing him all the time. If I'm talking about him, he's my best friend. Stop. Come on, man. Bear here with me. So literally, every time I'm talking with somebody, so every time I'm talking with a girl, to a girl about my friend, I'm like, man, I love this guy. He's also tall, handsome, he's smart as hell. I just love him for everything, After that, she's like, Leo, can you put me in contact with him? I said, hell no. This is my guy. I don't need him with anybody but me, so stay single. Toby, if you're watching this, stay single, please. And then the last people I wanted to thank were obviously my parents. One of my favorite parts was telling my parents that I made it to the Olympics back in 2023 in the locker room. And then a quick backstory to them, they were really young, 21, whenever they met, and they got pregnant I was not very expected, so. But yeah, they found out they were pregnant. And then they stayed together and then got married. And I don't know if y'all know, but a black man back then in Germany is, I don't know, But yeah, they went through a lot. And actually, what? So, what I was going to say, y'all interrupt me. Come on, man. I'm trying to have a moment here. So, what was I going to say? Yeah, especially they've been actually through a lot of adversity, getting married, staying to can y'all stand up, please? I wanted people to see it. They stayed together all this time, and it's just beautiful to see. I appreciate it so much. And I gotta say, also, when I was first of all, that they got married, although they barely knew each other and everything. And no, I'm serious here. Also, whenever my mom was pregnant, she also got malaria. I don't know if y'all know what that is, but it's an African disease. And I was supposed to be all kinds of, messed up, you know what I mean? And then, I'm serious right now. All the doctors said that, it's probably best to not have the kid and everything. But my parents, they stuck through it. They said, no, we want to have the kid. I don't care how he looks like, whatever. And I appreciate that so much. Yeah, so I started the track. I'm almost done, I promise. So, I started track just because it was fun. I had a lot of good friends, and, even in college, like with Christine and everybody, and my coach, Garnham, we're always going to coffee shops and stuff, always having a good time. And then even when I was younger, Toby was always by my side, man. No glazing, but, like, he was always on my side. But, yeah, in the end, I wanted to say it's such an honor to be a 6'7", 240-pound Bowerman winner!
I am at a loss for words. I would just tell everybody thank you for coming, and I believe the meal is upstairs. You want to say grace when you get up there, dude? Have you got anything left? We're good? Very good. Thanks to everyone for attending. Thanks for the 2024 Bowerman. Sam, thanks for always for putting on a great party. Congratulations to Leo, and congratulations to Parker, their finalists, and Ed Sheeran, if you're watching, man. Come in. Thanks, everybody.